There was Panzer Dragon, which was probably the most underwhelming thing of everything they've shown. I wasn't really hyped about that one. It looked literally like it's Star Fox but with a dragon and less exciting. But then also they had like this Platinum game, Astral Chain. Showed more of that, and that looks pretty cool. I could see myself playing the shit out of Astral Chain, depending on what the gameplay looks like, but from what they've shown, I can't complain too much. So I'm gonna transition now into the EA Play stuff. I have everything running now, so I'm gonna do that. When is the little treehouse thing starting? I haven't updated the website yet. Okay. I'm gonna switch over to the reaction thing again.
But now they're showing gameplay from Pokemon. Wrench Poke. Looks like a new attack. From Grookey, the grass type.
So that's like a special thing.
Looks like it. And the guy has 100 Pokeballs, holy shit.
So the guy that's doing like, who's talking in the EA Play thing now, in the background they are like building up everything as he's speaking.
Everyone in the party gets experience points when you catch the Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So they are still on that treadmill of you should train your entire team at once.
Yeah. Okay, and that's the thing. I'm not sure if the Pokemon only roam around the overworld in the wild area or just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment they're in the wild area, so there are a lot of Wingull at the moment.
Oh, they have Julia Hardy.
But they have their stealth mechanic back. They had an auras.
Mm-hmm. Well, like as to be expected, they're gonna have a lot of sports.
Yeah, it's EA.
Yeah, it's EA. It's like. If I were to grade the Nintendo Direct, I would say this is also like a B+.
Yeah.
Very focused, very fun, to the point, and all of the announcements were on point. I will have to decide between Square and Nintendo for strongest presentation this year. Which Square is a surprise for me, because they had consistently the worst for a couple of years now, but this year was strong for them.
Oh my god, the animation of Score Bunny is just holy shit. He jumps around if he's not attacking. From one foot to the other, that's cute. But I don't like the design of Score Bunny that much.
Yeah, I think the little insecure water gecko is just the best one. I already forgot his name, but I love him the most.
Sobble in English, but the German name is so much better. Memion. Just take out an M, then you have Mimion.
Mimion, before you go.
Okay, that just called a Metapod.
Okay, so they have like their own schedule, which is great, so I can skip waiting times. So, this Jedi Fallen Order thing starts in 10, 5... Alright.
Okay, there are also trainer in the wild area. That's cool.
First look exclusive gameplay. So get ready, because EA Play starts.
This wild area looks, and now it's snowing. There's Garantula. There's Macho. Macholo.
Mm-hmm.
Is it called this way in English? I don't know. Machop.
Oh my god, they are having it up for Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh my god, this battle music, holy shit.
Is it good?
And today we're talking
Yeah.
Star Wars
Please tell me
Jedi
it's great.
Fallen
It's a
Order.
bit-
We've been waiting so you know what? We're talking about Star Wars. Yeah.
I want to
We've
hear
been
it
waiting
again.
so long
Just
for details on this game. I can't believe it. Can you
they
believe it,
counter.
LA?
I just love the fact that EA like gathered together the most excitable presenters they could because they know they themselves have no soul.
Director of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Stig Asmussen. Everybody give it up for Vincent Stig. Come on.
Hey, it's the guy that sat in the crowd last year.
Get in there. How you doing? Goodness. Give me the hug, Vince. Let's get it going. Yeah.
Don't know if we will see new Pokemon.
Please keep it going. They're making a Star Wars game. Guys, welcome to EA Play.
Thank you. What a great welcome.
How are you feeling right now? No pressure. You're just about to announce maybe
Oh my
one
God,
of the biggest,
this-
if not the biggest
this-
games of your lives.
White
Well,
Battle
it's
theme is
big,
amazing.
You're supposed to answer this.
Off script.
So
I can't wait for the gifts coming out of that. And I'm just going to say, out of the Nintendo conference and the treehouse, there are gonna be so many gifts of excited Nintendo
It
fans.
doesn't really get any bigger than that.
Yeah, this is something that Stig and I have been envisioning for years, to see it come to life and be able to show you guys 15 minutes of gameplay.
So to just give you an idea of what the EA Play stage looks like, it's outdoors. They have a giant video screen, and before that there's like a white sofa and a white, you know, just fancy seat. And they are talking right now, and there's nothing running in the background.
Set post. Oh yeah.
So now they're riding the bike.
Set post order
This-
66 after the events in episode 3.
All in
when all
one
the
bike.
Jedi were hunted down. Well, not at all. When the Jedi were hunted down and eliminated.
So, Stig,
Come
that's
on,
the
ride the
nutshell
water,
of the
ride the
entire
water.
game. What are we about to see? Where are we at in the
Yeah.
game?
Water.
Context.
Okay, so Cal's, like, this takes place maybe about 3 hours into the game.
Okay.
So Cal's
Take
built
that,
himself up.
Professor
He's not a
Oak.
fully Padawan anymore, but he's not a full Jedi
I
yet.
can use my bike in the
Like
water.
I said, this is unedited. We had one of our star players, Blair, over there.
Wow, that transition is really smooth.
This
Holy
is an
smokes.
expert playthrough.
Okay.
So we're gonna see some really cool stuff.
He practiced a few times. 2 or 3, Blair? 2 or 3 put.
2 or 3 dozen.
It takes place on Kashyyyk, which
Okay.
is the Wookiee planet.
Of course.
And Cal's on a mission to restart the Jedi Order, and it takes him here to Kashyyyk. And the Wookiees have been enslaved by the Empire, who's basically
Oh no,
recycling
the Wookiees have
planet
been
for all the
enslaved.
resources to build up the Imperial war machine.
Got it.
Pungent
All right, so
rude.
I brought up my phone,
That's
not to be rude, of course. It wouldn't be Greg Miller if I didn't
new
look at the
item,
Twitch
I
chat.
think.
And yeah, they are all through with us talking. They'd like to see the game. We've gone on long enough. We're not going to drone.
Let's do it.
Vince,
Well, let's roll.
would you like to kick it off?
Let's go.
No, they fishing.
Okay,
Goldie.
now they are showing off some gameplay. Which I have seen like 5 minutes of the gameplay and I was already not impressed, so let's see the whole thing. This is a menu.
Okay. Will they go in the city now or just roaming around the wild area again?
It's going to be the best YouTube VOD of just you talking about something else in the background. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's EA. I'm full expecting them to be the most boring presentation of the year in a year where they don't have a presentation. Okay, so he has that little robot thing on his shoulder. That bit I knew. Starts off with some platforming and some hookshotting. Some wall running. Climbing. A lot of platforming in general. I didn't expect that out of a Star Wars game, to be perfectly frank.
The treehouse event still has over 130,000 viewers.
It's big. It's big. That little robot thing is cute, but you just know it's going to be collector's edition item, a toy, a Lego set. This has merch written all over it. I said it a bunch of times, I just want to say it during the actual presentation one more time. Because holy shit, look at this.
use those cutters to create a distraction.
Pack of potatoes.
Lightsaber and free the Wookiees inside. We need their help to
Ingredient.
stop the Empire.
Oh.
Understood.
I'm not
Yes,
really
and-
buying into this main character so far. He looks like he dropped out of biology class.
There's an ingredient section in your backpack.
Ingredients, so there's crafting?
He just got a pack of potatoes and put it in his ingredient section.
Okay, so there's cooking. Not crafting, but cooking.
Maybe for their Pokemon Ami type thing they will do in this edition.
I would just genuinely love a cooking minigame. They had like this little making Pokesnacks minigame a while back. And that was pretty fun to me personally. It was time consuming after a while, but I liked it. I mean, we knew that graphically it's gonna look great. It just looks nice fidelity wise. They also have good lighting effects. I wouldn't be surprised if they were to say that they also partnered with AMD. Because AMD is partnering with everyone at the moment. How did they not see him swing over the abyss? Okay, that looks cool. That was a bit anticlimactic. But that little kill, the kill with pulling him to him with the force and just stabbing him with the lightsaber was pretty cool. I'm gonna give them that.
Okay, they're going for raid now.
I mean, to be fair, it's hard to get the force wrong. I remember back when The Force Unleashed came out, and everyone was just in awe of how fun it was to just play around with the Force. He got a skill point. Can we get the skill menu, please?
Okay, in advance of a raid you can select your Pokemon from the box or your party.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now there's a boss fight or like a mini boss or something, and it's a one-on-one fighting system. That looks pretty cool, honestly. It reminds me a bit of a slimmed down version of the For Honor battle system, but a bit quicker. He's definitely blocking in multiple directions. Although maybe they paired it with the Arkham battle system, because I don't see like directional inputs. But the camera perspective and everything just looked vaguely For Honor-y. Okay, little robot can give you healing drops. I'm gonna do a lot with this little robot in this game, I can already tell.
You can status Dynamax Pokemon. That's for sure.
That's good, because I was thinking there needs to be like an ability to stall them out. So let's just say that Dynamax is legal and competitive standard, yeah? Then you need to be able to wall them somehow. So if they get legalized in competitive standard, then I think we will see a rise of sleep and paralysis, as opposed to just hidden bricks or whatever that attack is called, Tarnsteine. Stealth rocks, there we go. So I think we're gonna see a rise of status then.
Yeah, they just burned the Steelix.
I mean, you are the competitive player out of the two of us. Do you reckon this is likely?
If it's legal, then sure. But I don't think it would be legal, and then it's how you play. Throwing the giant pink Pokeball, let's go!
I have to say, this gameplay presentation that they decided to show features a lot less fighting than I expected and a lot more platforming and environmental puzzles. Which I'm not sure how many of the people that were looking forward to this game were looking forward to that.
The effects of the Dynamax Pokemon, or the attacks of the Dynamax Pokemon has special effects like an attack Arcanine just used turned on the sun that you that Sunny Day is active, for example.
What's your favorite Star Wars scene? My favorite Star Wars scene is when they fight against two giant spiders. I love that they captured that in the game.
Oh, there are a lot of...
So basically that just confirms what we were suspecting about Dynamax, that it's like a cross between Z attacks and Mega Evolutions.
Yeah. And I think, if I saw this correctly...
He got a second skill point! Spend them! I want to see the menu!
Right before the raid started, you have either the battle lasts as long as the raid Pokemon lives, or 10 turns. If I saw this correctly.
Patrol the base. Got another breach down here. Some kind of webbing. Hey, who's that?
Investigating wildlife. Why would I want to do that in a Star Wars game? Another giant spider. Where they're showing off the little multiplayer raid thing.
Yeah.
So how does it work?
Yeah, you start this raid by walking into this beam, and then you select one of your Pokemon, either from your party or your box. Then you fight 4v1.
When someone captures it, who gets it?
Yeah, they only say that everyone has a chance to get.
So
But
first come, first serve.
Don't know. But they said nevertheless there will be rewards for this raid if it's successful.
If that means what I think it means, then that would mean that the likely scenario that's going to happen is one guy will catch the Dynamax Pokemon and everyone else will just get XP and stuff.
And items. They talked about items you can get from this.
So I guess the guy that catches the Pokemon gets the Pokemon, everyone else gets items. Well, That was the most underwhelming guy to end the presentation on. To be fair, normally if they do something like that, it's like a giant monster or something, instead of just a giant human-sized robot. But okay, that was the gameplay presentation of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, my initial impression of that was I was not sold, and this did not change the fact. I was a bit underwhelmed that not once did he open the skill menu. He got like 3 skill points and he never spent them on anything, and I couldn't see what the skills were, what the menu looked like, anything.
Win 96 says that's freaking cool, but he didn't use frickin'. How does it feel to, I think, deliver, right? Like, you guys liked it, right? I think I was looking at the Twitch chat. There's a lot of people who liked it. Like, what does that feel
I mean,
like?
graphically it looked fine, the combat system looked fine, but none of it blew me away, and there was too much platforming and traversing the environment, which is not what I'm looking forward to from a Star Wars game. To be fair, what I'm looking forward from a Star Wars game is space fights and spaceships and flying those, which this did not have in any way, so I would probably not buy it anyway. But they had some fun little things with the Force, so you know.
I'm just so proud to be up here, and I hope that Star Wars fans
I'm sure it's going to be fine, but it's EA, so it's gonna have some bullshit going on with it.
Yo, go clap now. I'm gonna stop you. Whenever you want to clap for him, you clap for him. I think that's pretty evident from it. And I like when we introed you guys were talking about the fact that this is a skilled person playing it, right? We all see it, we think it looks awesome. What are we missing by not having our hands on the controllers? Like, what do lightsabers feel like?
I mean, it's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Because it looks like it's got weight to it, and throwing it and catching it, right? Like, that's the impact I think I want from it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's really satisfying. I mean, the game itself, it's thoughtful combat. It's
Okay, let's show a bit more.
What you saw was a really good player.
Yeah.
Right. So you'll
right
have
over
to
there
work
again.
up to
He'll
that
give out
stuff.
autographs after this panel.
So you can block, parry, deflect. Like,
Yeah.
we want the combat to feel really good for people to go in and be able to like
Okay,
size up the enemy.
you can transfer Pokemon from Sun and
feels really
Moon
Yeah, it's also
and
it's about the
Pokemon
enemy
Let's
arrangements
Go
as well,
games
like what enemies
to
you're up
Sword and
against,
Shield as
how you go in
long
and use your tools
as they
to
are
take
in the
them
Galar
down.
region Pokedex.
But it's not just lightsabers.
Okay, and it doesn't matter if they have
That's
a
part of it.
Z-Stone
You were talking to me, last night about it, right?
at
This
all.
level combat, and the idea that when I watched the demo
Yeah, you
initially,
can
my
just,
thought was, oh, these are canned animations, right? I'm doing a force grab and stabbing
take
a guy,
the
and that's
Z-Stone
all
from
I
the
hit
Pokemon.
R1 and that
I mean, you
happens.
can,
It's not
but
that
I mean, my point
Like,
is,
you can go back in
if you
and
can
do
just
things
trade them,
differently,
it's
or you
possible
have
to
different
give them a
levels.
Z-Stone.
The enemies react to each other in different ways. You saw the flame troopers.
Which
I
would
think
mean that Dynamax and Z attacks are in the same game legally,
And it's not any fun either. It's fun
because
to
you can
play
get it.
sometimes, but
It is.
it's a lot more fun to play.
If Pokemon Home works as Pokemon Bank, I think all items will be removed when you place a Pokemon in your Pokemon Bank.
Is nice.
Mhm.
That's something that makes sense
So,
in Star Wars. The Jedi actually.
that wouldn't be a problem
double
then.
jump. But we have one unique
I was just wondering if it was possible. Because that was the big question I had after the Pokemon Direct towards you, is will Z attacks, Dynamax and Mega Evolutions exist in the same meta?
Stab him, but when you force pulled the stormtrooper and walked him in
Yes.
front bolt, that's pretty cool.
Because if they do, holy shit.
That's one of my favorite. I think the first time I saw that, I freaked out a little.
Yeah, then you have.
Well, you did it. You delivered.
I think you
Tell me
will
about
have
the enemies
give
we
the
are seeing,
Pokemon an item
right?
to
'Cause that's one of those
Dynamax
things
it,
I feel like
Mhm.
we're talking a lot about seeing things about a lot
and
about
then you have
running through the
only 3
environment.
more
You had
items
different things. You had your
to
normal stormtroopers, you
give
had
to.
non-normal stormtroopers.
Yeah, and this is just a small portion of the
Or
game.
So,
to give away.
so it's a risk versus reward thing then.
That is not. No.
Yeah,
That would be cool. I would be for that.
Got the scout troopers who you saw equipped with kind of melee charged weapon. We've got the flame troopers, but we also have. the
but
purge
I
troopers,
honestly think that
which is,
Dynamaxing will be
basically
banned
hunt
in
Jedi,
competitive
Yeah.
play.
soften them
Yeah,
up before the
it
Inquisitor
might be.
And, like,
Honestly, I have no idea.
right, like, this is bad.
I'm looking forward to hearing other opinions on it on the podcast later.
In,
Yeah.
there you go. Adding to the Star Wars lore. What, we're pointing at one guy. Did he create it? Just that one man did?
Yeah.
It was a team effort. You led the charge.
Okay,
Jordan did the
that's it
concept.
from Pokemon.
Good job, Jordan. Everybody appreciate Jordan. So we're going through, and you have these new new stormtroopers, you have your fire troopers, you have one of my favorite droids of all time coming back.
The
But they
KX.
don't
And
say
they're making me fight
which
Yeah.
will
Why
be the
would you
next
do that?
segment.
Ah.
I don't want to do that.
Oh, you do.
No.
They're
Trust
just
me, you do.
many people
do.
will
Oh, yeah.
look forward
Well,
to
and
the next
talk
segment.
about the other star of this 15-minute demo, right? The new droid,
There he
BD1.
is right there.
No, BD1. BD1's in the audience, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god, they already have this small little robot on stage.
Thank you, BD1. He's adorable, as I'm sure you know. I immediately want him as a backpack, so just a heads up if you're talking to anybody in the licensing department. That,
All right. We can make
what
it
does he
happen.
do in the game, right? Excuse me, we're hosting a panel. You can keep it down over there. What are the traits? What are we using as? Is he just flair? Am I using him for different things?
Like story-wise, he's Cal's companion. He's,
Yeah.
Explorer droid, which is perfect. 'Cause Cal's on this mission
Sure.
for survival that's taken to all these savage planets.
So now they're talking about the
BD
small
stands for
robot.
Buddy Droid 1, which is
That's Respawn. That's
Yeah, I
Respawn.
mean,
I don't think I didn't notice the wall running either. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, Respawn
yeah.
made this game. Yeah, okay.
definitely inspired by BT,
Yeah.
but the name ended up sticking.
Yeah.
So, one of the cool factoids is his voice is authored by the legendary Ben Burtt,
Oh, nice.
who did all the main sound designer in the original trilogy and
Yeah.
beyond. But he can hack doors, computers, as we saw in there.
Hacking
Just
doors.
scan some stuff there.
Yep.
Opening
Scan the
doors.
environment for like environmental storytelling, learn more lore about the planet.
I saw him shooting out health packs. Is
Yep.
that a canned animation after a fight? Is it a button I'm hitting?
It's player input.
Okay.
Whenever
Like
they
a
want,
cooldown on it?
whenever they want, he will eject the stim pack.
Okay.
There's a limited amount that you
Okay.
can find more over the course of the game. And you're
Okay, so
actually-
that's the health
in
system.
that moment, you're defenseless, so you got to choose wisely when you're going to do it.
Okay. We've seen the gameplay. Without spoiling stuff for me, what's going on in the story? Like, obviously, Cal, I thought he was going to be way weaker as a Jedi. You know, just tell me the whole story. What A to B, Stig, how's it go? What's the ending?
Well, the
Actually, you know what? Stop. Full stop. I can't believe I've gone this long in the panel without asking. Is Watto in this game?
I can't say.
But that's not a no! Hashtag Watto 2019. I'll be retweeting them all after this panel. Thank you very much. But what's going on in the story outside of Watto should be in it?
Well, you know, story's a really big deal to us. We created this Lucasfilm. We got to keep a really.
They really took like the most hyped presenter they could find for this.
Great panel. It's over, everybody.
He's really loud.
I mean, yeah, the
You
story's
gotta save
good.
it.
Okay. I know one of the things a lot of people have been asking, right? I put up stuff on Instagram saying, hey, give me questions. Community wanted to know. This is Star Wars canon, right? You
Totally
said,
canon.
Okay.
Totally
It's canon.
This is a real Cal's a real character.
Yeah.
Saw Gerrera in there. He's you know, obviously part of the Star Wars universe. Seer, Cal's mentor.
Yeah.
They're all gonna live in other places.
Okay, that's great. Vince, how's that feel? No pressure.
It feels great.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we have.
It's a-
nonchalant.
It's a really cool contrast having like this really loud, energetic presenter and then this really laid back dev who's just kind of
We've been talking about
relaxed about everything and just kind of
The
nonchalant
other
and
big
just.
community question I've seen a lot is, it's a Star Wars game, and Star Wars games in the past have
It's a-
allowed
it's a
us
weird,
to go
interesting
by the
contrast.
Is that a choice here?
no,
Okay, well. Why not?
because. No, I think it goes back to the fact that Cal's authentic,
Yeah.
and he has to fill a certain role so he can be used in other places.
Yeah, this is a Jedi story.
Well, that's the thing I appreciate the most, that you guys are coming in and telling a story, right? Like, I think that's why so many of us are excited for it. Is the idea that this is a Star Wars story, that you guys have something to tell, something to say. And a lot of walls to run on. Vince, Stick, anything you want to say
cringe.
before we let you go?
I mean, I'm fairly like cringing as well, mainly because of the supporter, the moderator there.
Fantastic.
Greg showing us
Thanks
some
for
stuff
coming
But,
out.
online.
you know.
Like, everyone, the reaction is fantastic.
Yeah, they're
Amazing
showing
moment.
around
The team, badass. Thank you guys.
Okay, go team.
For your hard
their
work.
Luigi's Mansion
Now we just have to finish. Can't wait to bring it to you guys.
PlayStations,
There's so
Mhm.
much more that you haven't seen yet. I can't wait to show
and
you.
they have two
Believe it or not, there's so much more. There's
moderators
more at the
there,
Microsoft
and they're
conference
just
tomorrow.
cringing
That's
about.
right.
Vince, Steak, thank you so much for coming out. November
Thank you.
15th can't come soon enough. For those of you here at EA Play, the Respawn team has brought even
Okay.
more gameplay for you to check out over the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Theater. And for those of you at home,
Oh,
Extended.
Animal Crossing.
I was about to do a bit. For those of you at home, you will
First
stay
gameplay
tuned
about for
Apex
Animal Crossing.
Legends.
Yeah.
what you're looking for.
Okay, I'm interested to hear about that. EA is going to continue with Apex Legends, which is a fairly big deal, of course.
Everybody, I'm Greg Miller. Thanks everybody for watching. We got more EA Play for you now.
And Pokemon is gone. Now they only have just about 100,000 viewers.
Yeah, you can see how big of a deal it is.
All kinds of exclusives. There's
Okay.
a lot to look forward to, starting with our next show.
So Julia Hardy is basically doing the in-betweeny
Alex
stuff.
Is bringing you the hottest news on Apex Legends.
Interesting that they got Julia Hardy, honestly.
New weapon, new battle pass, new
But
mode,
she's a
and
professional.
reveal of the 10th legend. Stay tuned because Apex Legends is moments away.
Sure.
They talked about why they chose an island.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just they wanted to give the player more freedom what they want to build.
I mean, we could kind of guess that from the gameplay that they showed. Making your own roads and pathways.
What's going on, everybody?
Putting a tent somewhere.
Welcome to EA Play 2019.
But the
I'm
graphic
so
looked really,
excited
really good.
to talk about Apex Legends
They
here
just
at EA
showed
Play. I'm professional
in-game
esports
footage with
commentator
Tomuk
Alex
talking to
Goldboy
us.
Mendez.
Mhm.
Now, everyone at Respawn has been working
And
diligently.
it looks
making
good.
Apex Legends
It
the
looks
best
like a high-res
battle
version
royale
of the
game out there.
3DS
We got
game.
some big updates. That's right. I like that. Like that, baby. Bring that energy. We got some exciting details. to share on
Sündenfuchs is in
Apex
chat.
Legends,
Banjo.
including
Yeah, Banjo is announced. I called it. I'm just going to say I called it. He was the most likely third-party guy, I said, before that whole thing started. Go
Okay,
back,
the-
go back in the VOD and watch it. I said it.
Okay, the island looks really square shaped.
Mhm.
Thanks, Golden Boy. I'm Respawn's community
And
manager,
your
Jay Frechette.
tent
As
is
you can
really
see,
small.
We've brought Kings
Like
Canyon to
your
life right
starting
here
house
at
is
EA Play. We've
always.
even got all
Yeah.
9 current
I'm
legends
would
here
be
on
interested if you
Keyboard
can
Games.
have more than
Some
one
of the
tent,
system
maybe.
updates that you've been clamoring for. We're gonna introduce you to
They right
some
now
of the
have a bunch of
show,
cosplayers
but for those of you at home, don't
cosplaying
miss
as
your
the
chance to jump into our
Apex
legendary hunt event. Check it
legendaries,
out.
which you know is fine, but I wouldn't have needed it.
Okay, designing your house or your furniture is like it has always been.
Mhm. I mean, there was a
Just
crafting
moving
table,
on to-
Tom Nook's crafting table, so you probably would be able to make your own furniture, which would be cool.
Complete challenges for exclusive cosmetics.
Or maybe you could just make your items that you're using.
And find all new exclusive skins in the in-game store.
So this is the Apex thing. It's a pretty hot game at the moment. I think it's well executed when it comes to making heroes that play distinctly from each other while still being very engaging.
Solid copy.
But it's still a battle royale game, which I have no interest for.
Need some ammo against
I
the
don't
most
know if
talented
you're
legends in the game.
were able to place items on the outside of your house.
hmm
Additionally, legends can complete
So
That's not
Sündenfuchs
possible.
said, I thought when they revealed the Dragon Quest character, I just saw the horse and instantly thought, hold up, Fire Emblem? We were the same way, actually.
down 2 wins
We saw the horse and we were like, okay, that's gotta be a Fire Emblem character.
triple take.
And then the person jumped off and it was like, what the fuck is this?
Then we didn't get a Fire Emblem character, but we get a sword wielding character.
We did, yeah.
301. Hit level 15 on your battle pass.
Yeah, have fun with your homework, Sündenfuchs.
Night Terror Wraith.
You know what I look like. Come find me.
Okay, DIY recipes, camera, looks like good, map.
So right now they are showcasing some skins and stuff.
Okay, it looks like you have some sort of mobile
We're
phone.
doubling down with our first ever double XP weekend. One moment. From June 7th to June 9th, earn double
With
XP.
recipes,
Base
Nook
and battle
miles,
pass progression.
the camera.
Throughout the event, be sure to keep an eye on the rotating store for new exclusive legendary hunt customers.
Are you gonna keep an eye on the rotating store?
and
I
call
sure I am not.
And drop in, as the
Okay,
legendary hunt won't last forever.
in
Good luck, legends.
your mobile phone you have 5 options: recipes, Nook miles, camera, map, and call Islander.
That's right. Until
This
June
black
18th,
lady
you
is
can
holding
jump
that
into
same
one
pose
of
for a
the
solid while
legendary-
now.
Our limited time
She's
event
dedicated.
features the debut of our elite
They are all
players,
dedicated. I just see that they are all doing like idle animations.
and more. Also, This weekend is double XP weekend, so there's lots of
And
great
you're
reasons
able
jump in.
to
The
place
community really
items
brought it since
outside
its
of your
event
home.
launch, and it's awesome to see the best duke it out. Back to you, Golden Boy.
Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you, Jay, for that. Appreciate it. All right. That was season 1.
So they announced Apex Legends Season 1. Oh, the last stuff that comes for Season 1. Now he's going over to Season 2.
Okay, I think you can actually craft furniture.
Great.
I'm gonna jump back in when we finish up.
That's good.
First,
I like that.
I do want to talk about Season 2. We've got the first details
Like a lock
here.
stool,
And joining me, we got
flimsy
Drew McCoy
watering
in the
can,
house, ladies and gentlemen.
lock band.
Drew, we've been
Looks
so
like it.
patient for that beautiful, beautiful content. What do you have for us today?
Well, it's coming.
Okay.
First and foremost.
Content is coming. Confirmed. You've heard it here first.
So season 2, it's coming July 2nd, and it's called Battle Charge.
All right. So
Cool, then
Battle
they
Charge
name
will be
Season
coming
2
out. What do you
Battle
expect
Charge,
when this new season drops?
which
Yeah, so
couldn't
right
sound
now,
more generic.
we launched the game. We're taking a seasonal approach, so we're trying to cram as much into the launch of Season 2 as possible with some other stuff along the way. But what you can expect from the launch is a new legend, a new weapon, a new way to play the game,
Okay.
perhaps a map event. And a lot of this has been done through a lot of feedback from community. We're also changing up some of the meta balance of weapons to try and buff up some of the weaker weapons and bring a lot of cool stuff in the game.
Okay. All right. It's a lot. It's a lot. We're going to talk about a good portion of it here.
I just want to see the new character, because honestly the characters are the best part of Apex Legends to me, as someone who is not very interested in the game at all.
It looks like that all of the villagers, islanders, got a 10 at the start.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, could you imagine if the game mode was that you have like 10 islanders on like an island and you need to get them off the island somehow until only one remains and he gets the entire island. Animal Crossing Battle Royale. But because it's an Animal Crossing game, you could only do that by outfishing them or doing like friendly stuff. Getting best friends with everyone and then until they vote someone off the island.
Even the town hall looks like a 10.
There you have it. The All-Star, man. I remember getting slapped by this
If
gun
it's
in
the town
Titanfall
hall.
too, so pretty excited to see this
Ah,
make
no,
it to the
it's
fold in the
looks
arena. Seems really powerful. So
thing.
tell me more about its place in
With
the
the working
entire
bench.
weapon loadout for Apex Legends.
Yeah, so the L-Star's new, it's coming, launch of Season 2. It's actually a care package weapon, because it's so OP.
Okay.
It's just amazing. But
Glad you said that out front.
yeah, well, you know, it's like the master for the Kraber. It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And being a care package weapon, it doesn't use any of the existing ammo on the ground, so whatever you get with it is what you got.
I also noticed too, it shattered through doors.
Yeah, it can open doors.
So like
Yeah.
melees, grenades, and now
the L-Star.
Wow. Okay, so that is.
Okay, so
pretty
they
sizable.
have a new
Now,
weapon
one
that
of
is
the changes
mega OP,
are
so it's a
gonna
care
be
package
weapons,
weapon.
because this may seem very nerdy, but I'm a huge fan of pop-ups. I'm all about Prowler with my Switchfire. That's my jam.
Yeah.
What are you bringing me?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, there's going to be some meta changes to the weapons. We're trying to bring up some of the weaker weapons. And then, yeah, there are 2 new hop-ups coming. Not really going to say what they are yet. You guys got to wait for Season 2. But there is a chance that maybe a memeable weapon named after an African country is usable.
Is usable.
Yeah.
A memeable weapon named after an African country. Uganda?
To be seen. We'll have to see if that's going to be a
Is
reality.
that the one?
All right, cool. So we're starting out hot with that L-Star light machine gun. We also have the Battle Pass. And, you know, when you guys first spoke about
Oh,
the
Battle Pass, here we go.
learning experience, what's different this time around for Season 2?
Yeah, so we've been listening to community a lot. Season 1 didn't quite launch as well as we were hoping. The content was fairly underwhelming for players, so we've been taking that in. We've been getting all sorts of data from people buying skins to what they equip on their characters or weapons. And so we've taken this learning and put it in.
I'm just going to say right now, I'm watching this on YouTube, right? So this is an uploaded stream, so people voted on it. It has 6,005 thumbs up and 2,005 thumbs down.
For a while, so you can come back after a month and try and knock them all out on a weekend and level up really quick. Ultimately, this does mean leveling to level 100 is a lot quicker than in Season 1. We're also getting rid of all the badges and stat trackers, taking up
Yeah,
space.
the battle
for the leveling
passes are
process.
the hot
And we
new.
are inserting 3
Yeah.
entirely new content
They are.
types into the battle pass.
The Apex Legends is interesting in that regard because the first battle pass was incredibly weak. So they're making it a point to say that, you know, the second battle pass is better.
All right.
Which still doesn't excuse the first one, but, you know.
Value for that battle pass.
Yeah, that sounds very exciting. All right, and now, you know, talk about
Yeah, I like the
pretty sick
idea
skins.
of the battle
skins do you
pass
have
of
for me today?
free-to-play
Yes, like I
games.
mentioned, I think our skin game is being upped pretty
That you can
significantly.
get
see that with,
content
raid skin specifically from the
you're
legendary hunt event.
otherwise
But we
paying
got,
for fast
4
amount
legendary skins in the battle pass. So we have
or for
2 characters
For a
with
set
weapons.
amount.
So for Caustic, he's got
yeah,
the
for a
Prince
set amount
Darkness
of
skin.
money,
And for Octane,
and
which is
you
the Jade
can
Tiger.
get the
I
next
think we're-
battle
yeah,
pass
see
by
there's,
completing
Prince
the
of Darkness
old
right there.
one.
Yeah, I
And
do
then,
like that
there
in
is a
concept as
skin
well.
for the
It's
Infinity
just
Guard,
that
called the
some
Infinity
of the companies I don't trust
and
with it.
the R301 is getting 2 skins.
Just like
So
microtransactions
the Iron Rampage
were
is 100,
at
and
one
there's
point
as well.
a good idea in theory until like some companies came and fucked it up for everyone.
All right.
So this is
Yeah.
just in the same vein. It's a good idea in theory, and a lot of people have done good stuff with it. But in the wrong hands, it's just terrible.
I think it's
And
like
I don't
for
think EA
example-
are the right hands.
what else?
For
Yeah, so
example,
we
I really
decided
like
to
the
actually
epic
really wanted
Fortnite
to have
battle
kind of a
pass.
competitive core
Yeah,
to it.
it's probably the best one out
Played
there,
over hundreds of
actually.
hours and mastered,
Yep.
really deep learning experience. And so the Elite Queue is our first step towards getting to a higher competitive stage.
Because
So
Fortnite
Season 2, I'm
itself is a really
stoked
good
to
game.
announce.
It's just a game that I don't care about, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but technically and so on, it's a really
rank
good
mode,
game.
Yeah,
you
that
progress
it was
through,
number
6
one on
tiers
stream
if
for
you're
so
good
long
enough.
for a reason.
You will cap out if you are
And what
And
season are they in?
which
Season
is-
8 now?
Don't worry, we'll be in Wood Division.
8 or
yeah, you and me,
9,
buddy.
I
Yeah.
think.
Wood. Wood 3, I think.
And
Yeah, so it goes from bronze all the way up to Apex.
it's
Predator,
free,
and it's
but if
using,
you're going for the
special
battle pass,
matchmaking for each of the
where you
tiers.
get
So the higher
additional
you get, you'll
content,
probably have
you're
some
just
stronger matchmaking
paying
times, but it's
$10.
trying to find the best possible match for you. And then
And
throughout the season, you'll
you
be
get
hopefully gaining
so
tiers,
much more
and then at the end of the season,
content,
you get rewards based on where you rank.
because
Wow,
you're
show off for the next season.
gathering
Ranked
the
mode coming to Apex Legends.
you're getting
Yeah, it's
skins
gonna
and
be
so on,
Sick.
which is not
All right,
really
all right,
new
all right.
content, but
I'm be honest with you.
enriches
I'm gonna
your
be
play
all up in that. It's
experience.
gonna be sick. I can't wait. I am legitimately concerned, as I mentioned, either be the first Wood Division player, which isn't even in it, or Plastic Division.
Plastic's good.
Yeah,
Step up.
that's gonna hurt. But dude, thank you so much for sharing all these details, man.
Hey, man.
Guys, Drew, ladies and gentlemen, from the Respawn team.
Okay.
All right, now here's the thing. I'm alive.
So the thing with this Apex thing is they're talking about a lot of stuff, they don't show too much of it. They showed like concept art and stuff. I would like gameplay please, even though the game is already out and I know what the game looks like, that doesn't excuse you to not show the new stuff in action.
Legend joining the arena. What do you have?
It's my pleasure, Golden Boy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. The 10th legend joining the Apex
Okay, now they're
Legends
showing off the new
arena
character.
is
Okay,
Watson.
they're now showing co-op.
Okay.
To help us get to know our latest legend a little bit better,
She
our
looks
team put
cute.
together this touching illustrated short. Let's check it out.
I'm pretty sure it's a she.
Dearest Natalie, as I write this letter, it's the middle of the night in late summer. An hour ago, you cracked the equations necessary to power the force field. You showed me up tonight, my magnificent daughter.
Yeah,
And I
that's a
couldn't
she.
be happier or prouder of that. I always knew you were special, but never did I fathom that the little girl who taught her stuffed Macy multiplication tables would grow up to master quantum laser mechanics. I have assured the Syndicate that the modified containment force field will be operational in a month's time, and it's all thanks to you.
Okay, you have actual co-op in Animal Crossing now.
I mean,
That's
you,
cool.
Just a doddering old fool.
Before that the co-op was basically, okay, you're visiting my village and please bring some fruit.
But I do
Yeah.
see you. I see the strong, brilliant, wonderful young woman you've become. And I know when the day comes that I'm no longer with you, you're going to be just fine. The games will be brilliant because you are brilliant. My daughter can and will do anything she wants in this life because she is the smartest woman in the frontier. Je t'aime de tout mon cœur. Pour toujours. Papa.
That's a cute little drawn
Papa.
intro.
I hope wherever you are.
But I would like gameplay, please. Well, now they have 3 people sitting on that sofa, so we're gonna have more talking.
Joining the arena, and joining me now, we have the 3 gentlemen who brought her to life. Griffin, Will, and Tom. Thank you so much for joining us here. Wow. So that I mean, Bible thumps in the chat, man, because that was feels right there. Hit me right in the shirt. But Griffin, we'll start with you, bud. You're one of the legend designers.
They're just
and
telling the story and how they made the sound effects for this game.
Watson a character that has impact in the arena.
They went outside of the office, cut some grass, and walked on it.
A conversation between a
That sounds just like Nintendo.
engineer, and he has this really methodical, interesting way of taking really complex
Okay, there's gameplay, thank you.
systematically solving them. And so I kind of thought, what would it be like if we took the sort of the defensive complexity of Apex and introduced a character that could really
She can make...
an ecosystem in which you can survive the
Okay,
really
she can basically put up
third-party
like
meta, all that
electronic
stuff.
walls.
So
Or like,
the idea behind Watson really is that if you plan and you sort of adapt to the environment, you really know the map, and you work closely with your team, that you can really create these strong defenses that...
So she's a defensive character, she can put up walls that your teammates can walk through, but I'm guessing the opponents can, or maybe they can take damage when they do. She's, for what they are saying, she is supposed to be a character that rewards you for knowing the map.
We're trying to sort of bump that.
So she's a high skill floor character then,
this more
or maybe high skill ceiling.
Kind of play style has breathing room.
Yeah, you're trying to provide like options for the players.
Yes,
right? Because if you want to be able to play that hyper aggressive approach, whether you're running like a composition that contains like a
God damn it, they zoomed out of the gameplay just as enemies approach the walls. Like, I would have wanted to see what the walls do to them.
Like this, and they kind of counter one another. So that's going to be really fun. And we're going to dive into the abilities and everything that she does, because let me tell you, it's insane. Now, as far as the look and feel, my favorite part about Apex Legends is that the characters, the legends themselves...
To be fair, Apex Legends is the best thing EA has going right now.
Looking from far away, you see the silhouette,
And it's a free game that they just kind of did on the side.
What were some of the complexities in bringing a character like Watson to life?
Yeah, so it's a collaborative effort, you know. Shout out Heath and Sam.
Okay, now they're talking about making the character.
Together. We were given a specific set of skills that she would be using, abilities from Griffin, and that's kind of all we had to go off of. So we had to, Heath did a great job of like bringing it all together, giving her a sort of a grounded aesthetic, she had to look like she was using electricity and stuff like that. So rubber gloves and the coils and the wires and pushing her silhouette at the same time, making her stand. You have to be able to read who she is from different distances. From there, from there, you can really go in and sculpt all the details out.
I do like the character design on that.
Give her personality in everything that she does. With
I
her
think
abilities and
they
that too.
said
and there's some really cool stuff there
that
as well.
you
Every
can play
part
with up
that
to
Watson,
8
she
players
takes
on
out
one
an
island.
item in her kit. It's actually like on her person.
Oh yeah.
You see it happen.
Yeah, and those are all
Wireless
very
and
meticulously
online
designed by
multiplayer.
concept artists and
Yeah, good.
and modeled out in 3D. So yeah, it's all functional.
That's great.
In the world, yeah.
So now you get to the gameplay, the look, but the story. You know, because you got to hit us in the feels, right? Like super hard, and you just did that. Watson's backstory, who she is. Let's dive deeper into that one.
Kind of different from the way we usually do things, because usually it's very collaborative and we're creating the character at the same time, all the different departments, and we're working together. Watson was different. She was already designed and drawn when I got her, and one of the great things about working at Respawn is they encourage us to create characters that are non-traditional and that are characters you haven't seen in video games before, and to kind of branch out and see what else, you know.
I do love the fact that she can basically just put up a wall.
So
That's good.
Watson is a very different character than I've ever seen in a video game, at least. And everything is
Or
based
fence,
off
I
of
guess.
what these
An
guys
electric
created. And
fence.
it's all, every single part of her backstory is connected somehow to either her abilities or her look.
And now, something that kind of stuck out to me. So, am I correct in assuming that Watson played a big role in the arena itself?
Yes. So Watson and her father actually invented the ring.
Okay.
And so she grew up in the arena, literally in the arena when they were building it. And we're going to start to, you're going to see with Watson and moving forward, we're going to start to build the lore of this world a little bit. You're going to find out who created the games. They mentioned the Syndicate in there, so we'll talk about the Syndicate down the road. You're starting to build more and more of a universe.
Yeah.
Which is great.
So she's in the arena, so all the legends must know her.
Oh yeah. She was their kid sister, basically. She was always hanging around the arena, and she got to know all the legends and got to watch all of them. She's not a mercenary. She's not a soldier. You know, her role is of support. And so everybody loves Watson. She's the one person that could probably unite all the legends together.
Including Caustic.
Caustic respects her. She's a scientist. She's an
You
engineer.
can apply filters on your camera
I don't know
app
if Caustic
on the
likes
Nook
anybody.
phone
He likes that,
to
yeah,
make
that's fair.
photos.
Hey, they mentioned the Nook phone, right? What can it do aside from taking pictures and having filters?
Before we're going to talk about the abilities.
You have Nook Miles.
Revealed these to me.
I don't know what this is. Maybe you can you get a discount.
We're kind of like
Maybe it's like the point system from like discounters like Netto. That after a while you can just pay with points instead of bells.
Then you have recipes.
Is ridiculous. So let's just talk about the active first thing, defenses.
Call friends.
So the Watson
like
has more
play with
interrelated
them
abilities than probably
together, I think.
any other current character we have. You really need to understand how they all interact.
The map.
The fences, you can place 12 nodes, and you can use these in any permutation you want. Part of why we sort of went with her being such a brilliant electrical engineer is because we really wanted to reinforce both mechanically and thematically how creative the player can be with these. Basically, we're just giving you free reign to place these however you want and figure out.
And the players, they like I just saw right there. I don't know if that was intentional. So that when your teammates go through, it shuts down.
It shuts off. So
if I'm down and they run through the gate, does the gate deactivate?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different interactions, a lot of different ways that you can.
These fences are actually really interesting.
The ultimate is.
I like this as a
called
mechanic.
Interception pylon. It shoots down bombardments, incoming grenades, stops arc star spam, and it charges your team's shield. And it also, if Watson's cooldown is slower when she's away from the pylon, but when you're near the pylon, it supercharges your tactical, so you get fences faster. So if you drop it down, it's a permanent structure until it's destroyed, and that allows you to build these large fortresses very rapidly. You can use that for defending, for flank control on offensive squads, for going up on a tower and fencing it off, Pathfinder. And then the passive is that ultimate accelerants give you your ultimate 100% ultimate charge. And so if you save up ultimate accelerants over the course of the match, that allows you to place more pylons, and it means that you don't have to play conservatively as Watson as long as you save up ultimate charges. You can keep moving with a highly mobile squad. You can play offense, defense, support, however you feel like the fences and the pylon are most effective to whatever comp you're playing.
So what you're telling me here is that Lifeline mains do not need to continuously hold ultimate accelerants anymore.
She looks really interesting, honestly. I like her.
Rejoice! That's right. We did it, people. Finally, because everyone's like really mean to me if I don't like you.
Oh, her name is Watson, by the way, with 2 T's.
That is.
So Watson.
When they cross the fences, you get pinged as well.
So if any enemies cross through the fences, it pings your entire squad. So there's a situational awareness element to them as well.
I wonder if the island will be randomized.
If you know where all the
It probably will, knowing what Animal Crossing is about.
You'll know exactly when an enemy crosses.
I'm even thinking about like composition,
river,
how like it could work out. You know, maybe for any
or
Gibraltar
how the
mains
river will
out there,
flow,
maybe you
and
find
so
a little. No one cheered for that. Feels bad, man. Maybe there's like a little synergy there that can be created. There's a lot that can be done with these fences and being able to block off.
Why is the audio fucking up right now?
I think it's really the big sort of the ceiling is how creative people can get with it, and I'm really excited to see what people do with it.
And from an art perspective here, you know, they're very distinct. They stand out. What were some of the challenges in making sure that these fences really, like, when a player saw them, they knew exactly what it was, not to kind of catch them off guard, so to speak, to make it really, really stand out in the arena.
Yeah, again, silhouette's everything. You got to make it stand out, and it has to look like it lives in the world. That it's something that she can use, and that lives on her body as well. She's able to pull it out and she's able to bring it out and create a forge.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to that game. It looks really fun.
We had concept artists working on every little detail, and the modelers as well. And we had to test it out. We tested it out. We play it in game or in house, and make sure it reads well.
EA's audio is fucking up a little bit.
Like I need like a post. With,
and
like,
I think I will end it here.
And they create really cool stuff with just that kind of vague.
As a feedback.
Designer description.
In general for E3.
This legend is going to be incredible.
A bit surprised by some titles.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs, for example. Really surprised.
That was a big sleeper hit for you, wasn't it?
Today,
yeah.
We've seen a new weapon. We've gotten a new mode, the latest legend, and
the conferences in general were a bit underwhelming.
Action that we've seen here today.
But looking forward to some titles in mostly every conference. So I would call that a mediocre E3.
It was a bit over average. It was a bit above average for me. Right? Because there was not like too many what the fuck announcements that really hyped me. But there was a lot of good stuff in there. There was not too much where I was like completely disengaged. Not too much where I was like not caring at all. And even some of the stuff that I realized was not for me looked good. So we had a lot of good quality announcements, but not too much really hyping stuff. And we had a general lack of gameplay footage.
So keep your eyes peeled over the next month, see what you can find out.
So if I were to like ask you, after we're done with this, are you like gonna give me the cold shoulder? Or are you actually gonna tell me?
There's no way I can tell you. Sorry.
Oh man, I'm just holding L's all day out here, man.
So I think that's it for me.
What was stronger for you, Square Enix or Nintendo?
What was better?
Yeah. That's like my last question to you. Would you say Nintendo or Square Enix was the stronger one?
Nintendo, just because they caught me with some games and Square Enix didn't.
That's fair. Alright, thanks for hanging out this E3 with me.
No problem.
See you around.
Yeah, have fun with EA.
Always. Timing wise, he picked a great spot because just now Apex finished. So the next thing is Battlefield in 3 minutes. But I'm going to skip forward to that. This whole VOD is just 3 hours, just a bit over 3 hours long, so okay, this is 9 seconds off. Let's get some of the leave that call. What else is new? While I'm here, I can just skip the messages. Okay, cool. I can close down Discord actually as well. Less latency on my part. Okay. The audio's still fucking up for some reason. Maybe it was like a general thing on their stream. They are outside, to be fair. And getting sound right in an outside venue is harder. Especially when you're streaming.
Hey guys! Hey,
It's Julia Hardy.
Today we've got a ton of new info on some of the great updates coming to Battlefield 5 in 2019. But don't just take my word for it. My co-host reads all of your tweets, and I do actually mean all of them. It's a little bit creepy and weird. Battlefield Community Manager Adam Freeman. What have you got for us, Freeman?
Oh, thanks, Julia. Now, I may be a member of the Battlefield team, but as you know,
I should probably put the lights on. It's getting dark now.
What we've got to you today. So, over the next half hour, We're going to be bringing you content that's coming to you over the next few months.
Although it's EA, it's fine. No one will care.
Today you're getting your first look at a ton of new multiplayer maps. Features we know you've been screaming out for, and the arrival of a new theatre of war that's coming to Battlefield 5 this fall. So, when Chapter 4 Define the Odds drops, it's bringing so much cool stuff. So let's get to it. Over to you, Julia.
Thanks, Adam. That's right. Let's wait no longer and tear the plastic of our first new map, Marita. Let's check it out.
Okay, new map. Here's the thing with Battlefield. I'm not really sold. The last Battlefield and the last Call of Duty both really underwhelmed me when it came to the marketing, and I think there were a lot of lost opportunities. So I'm not really hyped for this. I would like a map overview or something, because this doesn't tell me too much. Okay, we have town streets, a mountain. If you can get into that tower at the top, that would be cool. That would be a good sniping spot. But also a lot of people would constantly check it, so it wouldn't be like broken.
You'll always have tactical choices nearby, with a close proximity to other key locations, so keep an eye out for them. Marita is an infantry-focused map, where all 4 soldier classes will be able to shine. Tanks and aircraft will stand aside for intense infantry gunfights.
Okay, so this is really for gunmen. I would need to ask Hypergoddess what she thinks of this, because she is like the biggest shooter person I know.
To help give us even more details on Marita, please welcome Ryan MacArthur from DICE. Yeah.
Hey, it's the guy from DICE. I like this guy.
So obviously Marita looks amazing. What was the map's inspiration?
Well, I think the team in LA that put this together, and they built the
Sound stopped fucking up, by the way.
That everyone saw earlier this month. And so they really wanted to continue that story of the Battle of Greece, which is a bit of an unknown story, new to me as well, as you learn about this stuff. So it's really cool. It's sort of set on the Albanian-Greece border, sort of in the mountains there, where the Axis power sort of started to push into Greece during the war. And it's sort of set above the clouds in this nice little quiet, well, I guess what used to be quiet village. Before,
not anymore.
Before these guys all show up. And it's quite a different experience than Mercury. And it's sort of a totally different style of gameplay that you would have seen in the game before.
So what kind of gameplay are we talking about?
I do like the idea of having like all these houses there and
so, as Mr. Battlefield
very tight streets.
Total creative chaos. So you're just going to see some
creative chaos. Yeah.
So what we get there is just head-on, just collisions.
I like the idea of this map.
It's sort of what we try to do with all the new maps that we've created, spending a lot of time to figure out how do we make each one of them different. So when players go in and play one of these new maps, it sort of has a different feel than the ones they played before, to sort of create that different experience for them. So this one has, I guess for lack of a better way of putting it, sort of a banana shape to it. And that banana shape
like fruit.
Well, I think fruit's important when you're doing game design, I think, obviously. And so the shape gives you sort of a variety of different play styles and sort of creates this sort of narrow channels for people to just run head-on into each other, which really creates that chaos that is Battlefield. But
that's what we want, though. That's what we want, that kind of chaos. But most importantly, we need to know, like, we could talk all days, but when can we get our hands on it? That's what we want to know, right?
Yeah, and I think the great thing for this is coming in July as part of Chapter 4, so stay tuned. And I think some people are going to get to play it while they're here today.
Ooh, lucky you. All right, Freeman, who's we've stuck up there for no other reason than, well, my own entertainment, has more on Chapter 4 for you. Over to you, Freeman.
I'm up here PTFOing. I don't know what you're giving out to me, Julia. Listen, we have more maps. So let's deliver.
They have more maps, guys. Let's look at them.
Coming in Chapter 4.
The fight moves to the North African desert in a vast new map for Battlefield 5.
Oh yeah, that looks big. So this is the more vehicle-based map then, I guess? That's the thing that Battlefield does best, having really big maps and having vehicles and combining that. Yep, look at this.
In Al Sundan, we've taken the vista used in a single-player war story under no flag and doubled down on air and land vehicle combat. With this, the location has been optimized for all-out multiplayer action. On this open map, It's up to you to shape the fight. With large distances, vehicle-based team play, and battles across ranges, you'll always have plenty of choices. Make good use of this sandbox to secure the win. Utilize vehicles, mounted guns, planes, and transports. Capture the strategic airfield to dominate the sky, or engage in fast-paced infantry battles in tight interior areas. Al Sundan is classic Battlefield. We can't wait to let you play it.
Yeah, this looks like the thing that Battlefield is best at. So I am all for it.
That's amazing. So obviously Al Sundan was adapted from Under No Flag. So tell us a little bit about what that process was like.
Yeah, so usually, you know, when the guys, when the team sort of focus on building these war stories, they want to create these nice narrative, linear experiences and sort of that really tell the story of World War II. But with Under No Flag, they sort of took a little bit of a different approach to this and sort of made this big, wide open experience. And that showed a lot of potential from a multiplayer perspective as well. So when we finished the game originally, the team wanted to sort of sit down and sort of a small group of them and take a shot at turning this into what could be an amazing Battlefield map. It's huge. This is a really big map. This is your sort of classic Battlefield sandbox map.
Sniping in this could be very fun, but I don't know how feasible it would be.
And all of that together in sort of what is truly Battlefield. It's sort of built for that open world gameplay with, you know, depending on no matter how you want to play, there's something there for you.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And so how can I kind of, you know, adjust my strategy? Because it's such a wide map. Like, what am I doing?
I mean, you could go on those, probably on those roofs there and snipe from there. There are some high points in here.
When you go into the village, it's all about infantry play and speed and flanking through the things. And the bridge in the middle, it's all about, you know, sort of controlling that with infantry gameplay. And I think Mr. Battlefield the other day decided to just sit there with his tank and destroy me. But
it's just something that he likes to do.
He's kind of mean, but he's not mean. He's super nice. But
but most importantly, I mean, again, we could go on and on and on. We're tight for time because there's so much to get through. We've got so many announcements. When can we get our hands on Al Sundan?
But so this is the first map that we're going to come in with Chapter 4. So June 27th, this is going to be available day 1, Chapter 4 for everybody.
Nice, nice. Now we've got a couple more surprises to
Day
come.
1 is always good.
Before we get into all that, let's take a look at what's coming in August towards the end.
So we are almost halfway through now.
Get up close and personal. With Chapter 4 defying the odds, new and intense close-quarter maps are coming to Battlefield 5. By popular demand, we're bringing more maps to players crazy.
I'm wondering if they're gonna have like the EA originals represented in any way, because next to Apex Legends, which is the big game that they have, the EA originals thing is the best thing that EA has going for it. Actually helping out small indie devs getting their game made without heaping too much of the stuff and keeping it for themselves and letting those like the Joseph Ferris said like 2 Game Awards ago, EA has been very good to these small guys. So that program is unironically the best thing that they have. So this is another street map. It looks really beautiful, like just from an aesthetic standpoint.
Now, to help us break down these new maps, Ryan and I are joined by Mr. Battlefield himself, Lars Gustafsson. I don't know if you made that up yourself, though. Oh, and because he asked nicely, we also let Freeman down from his weird place up there.
You're worse than my Firestorm teammates. You just leave me behind everywhere.
But we can all understand why that happens. Do you want to take over this one for the start?
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, go.
Lars, these are very different then to the 2 maps we've already shown so far today. Tell us about them.
They are. I mean, taking a step back, we've been closely monitoring how players engage in Tides of War, and no surprise, I mean, they love the bigger modes like Conquest. It's always been kind of a Battlefield pillar. But it's been super fun to watch how they engage with passion and dedication in the smaller modes like Squad Conquest, for example, which really become a success. And with that in mind, then we've, together with the DICE LA studio, they've been going at it, tailoring maps that are specially made for smaller modes. And as such, being able to give that, you know, the close quarter feeling, the tight, what you say, the intimate combat.
Intimate infantry combat.
Oh yeah, we need that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Intimate infantry.
We're making that platoon when we get back.
I mean, what kind of the sort of like key strategies then when you're playing with close quarters on this map?
Intimate infantry.
I mean, the key to this is just
I can talk, I promise.
Squad play. And so, you know, sticking together and not leaving anybody behind, like Mr. Freeman over here. Yeah,
That little corner there,
Leave him behind, can you?
that little corner between houses, that will be like a nightmare for someone to hide in and just shoot everyone who runs by.
Serenity, beautiful Nordic countryside, but then kind of ripped open with gunfire and everything amongst villas and factory equipment. And then Provence, you know, I plan to take my wife.
What is this dude doing there?
Stop going places you want to take your family. It's weird.
I'll take Ryan.
Yeah, take him instead, and then go.
But it's beautiful cobblestones, you know, lots of good flanking routes, and it's the smaller maps really allows you to master every inch of it. So it's really about, you know, knowing your battlefield.
Yeah, mastering that vast map they showed before will be very difficult. I'm sure there are optimal strategies for it, but it's gonna take a while for them to really crystallize out, I think.
Updates we know that you've all been waiting for, so you're excited about this one.
Lars, do you know how much time I'm spending online? Like,
I mean,
I am working.
Just Battlefield, or let's not delve.
Big community features we've announced this month. Increase the max rank. Private games. Let's talk max rank. What can you tell us?
Let's talk max rank. We do know, and it's been loudly made to us, our kind of awareness, that there are players out there too skilled who maxed out on rank 50 too quickly. So we've taken that to heart, and we've now taken the max rank from 50 to 500. So
what? What?
And it's
that is quite the leap. I was expecting 100. Like we doubled it, or like maybe 150 or something.
It's a grind train.
500.
Yeah, what are we getting?
We're all in it. You
know, oh my.
So to start with, already from rank 51, you will be granted company coins for every rank up. But then at every, we call them milestone ranks, you know, every 50th rank, you will get one shiny new rank icon to show off your skills, and also a beautiful set of dog tags. So
okay, so cosmetic little incentives that are not really mattering too much. So it's not too much of a grind wall. Just a little thing you get every time. Well, that's fine, that's fine.
World domination for Lars by
yeah, so I wondered if we were talking about world domination or when that was happening, but oh, alright.
Private games then. The other massive thing that we know players want. What we got?
I mean, another one that's our lovely community have been vocal about. And previously, for those of you who've been with Battlefield, it was called RSP, the Rented Server Program. But now we're shifting over to private games. And what it means, the beautiful thing with it is, the baseline package that comes out is free for everyone that plays Battlefield 5. So a beautiful package, it's there to let you set up your servers and kind of create your experiences, whether you want to capture or, you know, play with your friends.
I love how the lighting changes when my second monitor goes out.
And obviously, you know, you love getting all that community feedback, so hit him up, Mr. Battlefield at AOL.com, and let him know.
Well, just saying,
that is the thing, though. Like, we're not finished when we're done, right?
No, exactly. It's coming in, let's see, September.
Yeah.
And at that time, I mean, we want you to dive on it, set up your servers, play it, and give us feedback. Since this is kind of just the beginning of the journey with the private games, we want to hear what did we do right and where should we shape up and take it an extra notch. So be with us and be candid.
Okay, well, Lars, don't tell Ryan, but you know you're my favourite for this. Thank you very much for it. We've got more though, Julia. We've got more.
Well, it's just going to get a bit weird and fighty up here in a minute. Well, as promised, we've got one more Battlefield map to show you. It's called Operation Underground. Lars, Ryan,
Underground, I am all ears.
Let's have a look.
Well, this is the ultimate definition of a passion project. So Inge Göran, the original designer for Operation Metro, when we finished Battlefield 5 and shipped it, he wanted to do something that he just was truly invested in. So we kind of went down and he sat down and he came back with what was Operation Underground. And when he showed it to the team, we knew we just had to make this. And I think Lars is sort of being part of that journey in the beginning. I mean, you know how much this meant to the team.
Yeah, I mean, I was there when we started to build the maps for Battlefield 3. And early on, it was kind of a brainstorm. I still remember it was tons of images on the wall. We challenged the team to, you know, where do you want to fight? Everything from subway to shopping mall to God knows everywhere.
Yeah.
And then the team started, or someone smart, not me, apparently, said, do I only get to pick one?
Yeah.
So they started to pick a number of them, and I think Inge then chose three of them, which was the park, the subway, and kind of the bank area in the city.
Like kind of scene tapas. I mean, you don't want one meal, you want lots of meals all in one meal, right? Yeah.
So you can see, when you see kind of it spinning behind us here, you can see the true inspiration, but what Inge Göran and the talented crew with him has done is to kind of take at heart the feedback from the original Metro and started to provide especially a lot of flanking routes so that you can kind of move
Flanking in
around
the underground is evil.
easy to spot ones, but also
Everyone
the most
loves a
sneaky ones.
sneaky flank.
Yeah,
Everyone
no,
loves a sneaky flank. Cheeky, sneaky flank.
I mean, I think as you look at it, like this is not Metro remastered. This is, as the guys look at it, sort of reimagined, and I think you've got a bunch.
So I think after this is going to be the big sports thing, which I'm going to be less excited about. This is already a game I'm underwhelmed with, but at least I'm kind of on board with multiplayer shooting maps. When I'm visiting a friend who has it, I'm going to play a round or two, so at least I can get behind this.
When do we get it?
That's the big question for today. Just when,
You have to wait a bit. October, between chapter 4 and 5.
I think this is the one the team is really excited about as well. So I know I can't wait for October.
No, so I have a cracking time played it in playtest. I'm so looking forward for everyone else getting to play it too, and everything else that's on these new maps.
Oh yeah, those
But this underground map they showed very little of. They had like 5 seconds of footage that looped over and over.
So today we're giving you never before seen details on Battlefield 5's Chapter 5.
Here's a little look at what the team's been working on.
That's Japanese, I think. Yeah. Well, he's dead.
A timeless theater of war. A new vision.
I like the guy that makes the voiceovers for these. He has a good voice for this.
DICE are hard at work creating an iconic World War II experience, releasing this fall with Chapter 5 of Battlefield 5. As the US and Japan enter the fight, your clash
this is D-Day, yeah?
battlefields, including a modern take on an absolute classic, Iwo Jima. Since Battlefield began, the Pacific Theater has been part of its DNA. Now, we're crafting the ultimate reimagining of the conflict. By capturing real-life environments and using the power of Frostbite, we're bringing you the Pacific
Frostbite, of course.
of today's capabilities and technology. Take part in the US invasions as their unstoppable forces charge inland towards unwavering Japanese defenses. Use new amphibious units to pummel the war-ridden shores, and an expanded arsenal to bring your squad to victory. We have a lot more to share about the Pacific, and how it will evolve Battlefield 5 later in the year. Stay tuned.
Okay, most importantly, you went on like a bunch of like research trips. Like, let's find out more about that. Oh, let's set the net one in Tahiti. Yeah, that's right.
It's hard work. I know, it's amazing how many people are willing to make that extra effort to go to Hawaii in January in Stockholm. So it's quite impressive. We really appreciate the team putting in that work.
Oh yeah, taking one for the
But
team,
obviously, I mean, that's.
Oh my god, man. My second monitor is way behind. Dude is photographing rocks again.
This is a homecoming for Lars. I mean, not Iwo Jima itself, but the development of it.
I remember my childhood.
Where the beard comes from.
Yeah, 1,000 yards in there.
No, but jokes aside, it's you know, having been with Battlefield all through the journey, it's really where it all started. Battlefield 1942, you know, the Pacific Theater, and already when we started to talk about this game, the journey through the Second World War, everyone came up and kind of, when do we go to the Pacific? So this is the time. It feels like a homecoming. 1942, Battlefield 1943. We've been there before, but this is in a new way.
And I think the great thing, I mean, we hear a lot from the community, and I know, you know, we have these discussions. You've got, where are my U.S. forces? Where's my Japanese army? And you know, getting to sit here in LA today and tell everybody that it's coming. Chapter 5, you're going to get those things. You're going to see some familiar places like Iwo Jima. We've got 2 other maps coming with that, so 3 maps coming with the initial package of the Pacific in Chapter 5. Some ones I think people are going to be really happy with what they're going to see. And as you say, in some
I'm a bit worried that some of those maps will be maps that we already had
some
before.
iconic weapons and things as well.
One-night shooters have had that as a
We're
thing.
living for the ping, so I mean, we wouldn't go to Iwo Jima without kind of the weaponry and the hardware. So bringing tons of iconic weapons, gadgets, and also, after all, it's Battlefield. So, of course, there will be a new set of vehicles, and we want to take that extra step and kind of start giving you the boats, fulfilling that sandbox of land, air, and sea. And the team has focused hard on capturing kind of that invasion experience. I mean, it was very much about island hopping during the war, so capturing the invasion experience and the amphibious warfare. So there's tons of new stuff and new gameplay to look forward to.
And beautiful locations that you ultimately destroy beyond recognition.
Well, Lars and Ryan, thank you both very much for joining us.
So if you've lost track of all of these brand new Battlefield announcements, I don't blame you, because honestly there was quite a lot. So do you want to give us a little bit of a recap there, Freeman? I'll leave that on your capable shoulders.
Okay, I'm back of the balcony if I...
Yeah, go on, get up there.
Right, okay. Okay, we've got a load more multiplayer maps then coming in 2019. That starts with Alcen Dam on June 27th, followed by Marita in July. We'll bring in a brand new Theatre of War to Battlefield 5.
Oh, next is EA Sports. Alright, the fun stops here.
Features we've heard the community ask for. An increase in max rank from 50 to
I mean, Julia Hardy still has like 1 million cards in her hands, so maybe she can get some excitement in there.
In the EA and Origin Access Vault, and through EA Access on PlayStation 4 when it launches next month. Is that everything?
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I guess you can probably stay down here with on the adults table, whatever.
Cheers everyone, thanks, that's the Battlefield Show.
Yeah, I'm Julia Hardy.
And I'm Freeman.
And if you're in the Los Angeles area, be sure to come and visit us in person at EA Play. Goodbye!
I'm gonna say goodbye, maybe Julia Hardy's not coming back. So, okay. How much time until FIFA? 7 minutes. We get to skip 7 minutes.
Trailer that dropped this morning with some very special...
Yep. I'm not interested in watching them talk between those. I'm just here for the announcements.
What's going on, FIFA fans? I'm Golden Boy coming in.
Golden Boy's back.
From the Volta pitch here at EA Play. Now, I had a blast actually hosting a FIFA Ultimate Team Champions Cup a few weeks back, but that was FIFA 19. Today we're here to talk about FIFA 20. Now, if you caught the brand new trailer that dropped
Here's some predictions. They're gonna say the same thing they say every year. We're gonna completely revamp the ball physics. We're gonna completely make it everything is going more realistic. You're gonna have more control over the ball. It's the same thing they say every year. It's also graphically it's gonna look better than ever before. The atmosphere is going to be better. The same thing that they say every year. But also I'm thinking that since the story mode is now a thing, we're gonna get some story details about this, and I'm actually interested about that. Maybe Alex Hunter is gonna be a thing again. This song is terrible. What is that garbage? So far I'm not sold, because this does not tell me a lot, aside from street football is a thing apparently. Which I guess is a new avenue to explore. Outside of the big stadiums, of course. Volta football. Break new ground.
Now, in a bit, I'm going to be chatting with Sam Rivera, the lead producer at FIFA 20, about some of the new gameplay features that are going to be coming to FIFA 20. But first,
I wonder how much the people that are just like goofing around with balls in the background are paid for that. If they are paid at all.
Give us the details on Volta football and the culture that inspired it. Check it out.
Oh, it's time for a documentary now. I'm gonna lower the volume a little bit. They're really going in on the street football this time, huh?
Okay, so Rio, we're here in London, your hometown. Cage football, street football. What was your memories and experiences growing up? Did you play a lot of it?
This exactly what I've done day in, day out. In there, the ball never goes out of play. Physically, it's demanding. You're forced to almost have a personality and show a personality in there. Do you know what I mean? The
There's
demands.
definitely no hiding in there.
Oh no, you can't hide in there.
So I used to play in the street with all the boys, and it was kind of the same. You know, we'd learn how to bounce it off the curb and use the walls on people's houses as another player. What was it for you that made you want to bring it even into the game?
For us, it's a return to street football for the FIFA franchise, and we're really excited about being able to, be in places like this, where it's rooted in the real people, the real places.
The real people.
Creativity, culture are all things that we wanted to bring to Volta.
Look at that guy's footwork.
The footwork is amazing. That's what you can do in Volta, though. So that's part of the detail in the gameplay. So you can do like all these mad tricks like this. Well, just being able to be really skillful with the ball at your feet. Whether it's a classic futsal drag or being able to play it off the wall of yourself to beat your opponent, flick it up over your head to create space for on goal. Can you use that with the players from like the professional teams? Absolutely. So obviously with it being FIFA, we want to make sure that authenticity is at the forefront. And so you can play with or against the real players, all the licensed players that we have, all the licensed clubs.
There are licensed street football players? Or is he talking about the big stadiums now? This blends over weirdly. I'm confused.
Physical and technical, it's mad. I've played on loads of different places. Where is there to play on the game? So obviously with Volta, it's the world's game, and there's so many locations that you can play with, from a rooftop in Tokyo to a London cage.
I do like the rooftop in Tokyo.
In Amsterdam. So we want to make sure that what we're building is real to the space, real to the people. Where's the craziest place you play football?
I was actually in a camp in LA, and I played a bit of soccer there, which I've never played it there before. The pitches are a lot nicer than when I grew up playing in Liverpool. What about you, Rio?
Maybe in a favela in Brazil. I went to the World Cup in Brazil. My first one I did as a pundit. I managed to go into the favelas and have a little look. Crazy, man. And amongst that was just like a pitch in the middle of it, in a cage. A bit like here, but it's just different setting. What type of football were you playing? We played whoever was there. So you just play with the numbers you've got. If there was 3v3, fine. If it was 5-a-side, not a problem. So what's great is that's Volta. Being able to play 3v3,
yeah.
4v4, 5v5, playing.
You could see that a mile away that was where he was going for.
In a cage like this, or playing futsal, with more authentic.
To be fair, I think that like a 3v3 football match would be actually fun to play as. I'm not against the FIFA games, I'm just not getting hyped for it because they say the same thing every year. But if I get the chance to play it, I usually enjoy it, even if I suck at it.
Volta football is such a diverse game, and for millions of people around the world, streets is their stadium. So for you guys, what are some of the fundamental things that you take away from the streets? What translates to the stadiums? Small-sided games. 3 versus 3, 5-a-sides. I grew up.
So this is going on for a long time now. We barely see any video games. Where are the video games in this video game conference? Just 3 people talking about street football right now, and one guy is always inserting, yeah, we have that in the game. Yeah, that's in the game. That's cool about the game, that is in there. We have the real people. Express yourself using the football.
You see the best in everyone. I think individually, as a team, street football is, for a lot of people, it's foundational, and it translates to the stadiums. For Volta, that's kind of how we built the gameplay experience, and so we're really excited about what we can represent, and being able to represent the flair and the style that you guys just talked about. I think a lot of people as well used to always associate skills and flair without the end product. I think that's what's great about this.
Man, this is going on and on. Which I kind of expected, but still this good.
Absolutely, I think that's one of the biggest.
We have women.
Play male or female, and they play with each other as well, and that's an important part of what we're building. When you go and play in there, not everyone turns up in a pair of shorts, boots. Can we have jeans cut downs that I've got, or you can have t-shirts and shorts, or you can have jeans and long sleeves. Again, a big thing for us is being able to establish.
Can I have jeans and t-shirts though? Because that's kind of my style.
You can have short hair, long hair. You can have tattoos, no tattoos. You can play with trainers. A lot of the time as well is it's not only you want to look good, you want to feel good, play good.
Are they patting themselves on the back for having customization? Also, it's a FIFA game, so I'm expecting most of that customization to be linked towards loot boxes, because, you know, EA really wants the loot boxes in their sports games, the Ultimate Team stuff, you know, which is going to be in. So I'm expecting all of this customization to cost microtransactions, maybe in-game currency that you can buy, some bullshit like that, because it's an EA sports game and they like that shit in there. Because the sport game fans are not as objectable to it, like they take it and they don't really complain about it too much.
There you have it, Volta football, pretty cool stuff there. Now I can't wait to get my hands on it later this summer, but talk to us about the exciting new gameplay updates and innovations that are going to be coming to FIFA 20. We have FIFA League.
So I'm confused. Is Volta just like a mode in there that you can have all these customizations in there, or is it a separate game and FIFA 20 is also coming out?
I knew this coming into this when they asked me
I think that it's a mode in there, but I could be wrong. I would wish it to be a mode in there, so there would be a reason for me to care about it at all.
We talked a lot about how important it's been for you to engage with the audience, with the fans, with the community on FIFA 20's development. So why don't we dive into that? Tell me about that process and how the community played a role in making this game a reality for you all.
Absolutely. Community feedback is a big deal for us.
DA. You're gonna get a lot of community feedback.
Every year to keep innovating and to create the most authentic and fun experience we can. And we know we have a big community, so this year we actually talked to over 3,000 players, from pro players to new players, casual players, hardcore players, and because we know this is a two-way conversation, we released an important pitch notes article at the end of May where we explain a little bit more about how we approach community feedback. So we listen to things like shooting inconsistencies or AI defending, and this feedback, together with our drive to create a more authentic football experience, led us to develop a new feature set that comes together as football intelligence.
Okay, all right, so catchphrases are all well and good, right? But let's dive into this, right? Because I want to be able to...
Good call by the moderation there.
What does football intelligence mean for the folks that are going to be playing in a few months?
Sure, football intelligence is a combination of features that improve the three main components of the match: on the ball, off the ball, and the ball itself. And this year we're innovating in those three areas.
On the ball, off the ball, and the ball itself.
Enhancing the one-on-one moments by giving you new
so what's left then?
Tools. Off the ball, with a re-architected game flow, we're giving players more time and space on the ball. And for the ball itself, we have a brand new ball physics system that elevates the authenticity on
every year they build a new ball physics system. Every freaking year.
I'm assuming you're talking about computer control players there. And this is a big topic.
Just tell me right now that it sucks, because next year you're gonna have a better one. Every year.
What does that mean for us?
Yes, so off the ball, if there's something that is
also, he's talking again and not showing anything.
The re-architected game flow. This new game flow was designed
talking about the re-architected game flow for the second time now. I don't see gameplay along with this. What am I supposed to do with your words? You are part of EA.
And in FIFA is going to be the time where user skill is going to make a difference. And while we're creating more one-on-ones,
this is definitely not gameplay. It's captured in game, but it's not gameplay.
Reducing the amount of AI defensive support that you get from your teammates.
Okay, all right. So you really want to like influence the player to be engaged in that process. And I know it seems like we're kind of just like throwing questions out here, but you know, because I'm curious.
You
I'm really
are.
Interested,
That's
right?
because you are.
When I have a controller in my hand, you know, what does this feel like? You know, what extra space is being created with this more player-controlled approach?
Yes, first of all, the re-architected game flow allows us to encourage smart technical
re-architected game flow. I'm gonna make a note of
so
this.
when you score a goal, you feel like you really worked for it. And because you mentioned space, yes, spacing is actually one of the biggest benefits of this system. You will see how your teammates spread around the pitch in a more authentic way, allowing you to read the game better and also giving you new ways for you to create your own scoring chances. And visually, just the game looks much more like real football.
Yeah. So my teammates are going to be way more helpful for me because Lord knows I need that. All right, which I think, you know, a lot of us feel the struggle there. But now, what about the player, me, right? As I'm playing this game, what new tools do I have that I can put out there on the pitch?
Yes, so football is all about the decisive moments on the wall. And now that we're encouraging those moments,
Decisive
we're also
moments.
giving players the tools
We
to
put
make
those
sure
in a
those
game.
moments are in their control. So there's 4 features that I want to talk about. Composed finishing, strafe dribbling, control tackling, and the new penalty kicks and free kicks.
All right, so
New penalty kicks?
Yeah.
let's just dive into this.
What do you
Composed
mean by
finishing,
that
what do you mean by that?
exactly? Let's show
We
those
received
off.
feedback from the community regarding the difficulty to finish in front of goal.
Okay.
So in FIFA 20, with the new composed finishing, you're going to experience more clinical and consistent shooting when you're in a one-on-one with the keeper, for example. And if you try a more difficult shot, let's say a volley from outside of the box, then you're going to have more chances to miss. So overall, we are improving the fundamentals of shooting to provide a more authentic experience.
You know, that doesn't tell me too much, but if it works the way that he says, then it's going to make the more impressive goals really big moments, like more exciting, I guess. That's good for the highlight reel, that's basically my point.
We are actually just releasing another Pitch Notes article about this topic. If you want to know more information, you can check it online.
Okay, so a whole topic just on this alone, which is very dedicated there. Now, you also mentioned another attacking tool, which was strafe dribbling.
Yeah.
So how is this now going to play a role in how I play out there?
Good question. So we are reinventing the strafe dribbling mechanic.
Okay.
This tool adds more dimension in attack, giving you more control, more precise and agile control of the ball when dribbling. And I would say this tool is great to lure your opponent in, and then when he's getting closer, use your player's agility, speed, and skill to beat that defender.
So if it wasn't any indication, though, you know, I'm going to be on defense quite a bit. So
we'll see.
Because of that, as a defender now, we're continuing to just run through these tools, these new gameplay additions that are coming to it. What about on the defensive front?
Yes, to counter the attacking tools, we also need to bring some innovation into defending. The new control tackling system, which uses the sophistication from the active touch system from last year, is going to
Okay, they actually do use stuff from last year this time.
to ensure you win possession
Cool.
back more often than ever when you tackle in the right context.
Okay, and then the most intense, nerve-wracking moment in any game of FIFA, me and my boy Rob, we went, this is an everyday thing for us, penalty kicks.
Yes.
What changes are you making to penalty kicks?
We have brand new penalty kicks and free kick systems.
Okay.
So first of all, the aiming mechanics are completely different and more accessible, but obviously we're keeping some elements of skill in there to make sure there's enough depth in the mechanics for those that want to be masters in those systems. And for example,
That seemed like a pretty straightforward aiming system, honestly.
that you apply to the ball, and that's going to create your trajectory. So you can do side spin, top spin, no spin,
What?
a combination of them, and that's going to be based on how you swing
Oh,
your right
okay.
stick. And then you will see the trajectory, so you can go around the wall, you can go over the wall, you can do a knuckle shot, for example. Ultimately, these systems are more they're more
Okay,
fun,
I do like that,
so
honestly.
like it's more
But what
rewarding.
I noticed is that he was like counting down those systems, and then the following questions were all just guiding him through those systems. So it wasn't really a question-answer thing. It was like, here are the 4 things that I want to talk about, and then he was just like leading them to the next topic.
Of the beautiful game. So what's new with the ball?
We have a brand new ball physics system.
What's new with the
And
ball?
is at the center
We
of
have
every
ball
match.
physics
The
now.
innovation that we're bringing to the ball this year just gives you a more authentic experience in general.
We didn't have those before, but now we have ball
rewrote
physics.
how the ball behaves on every player contact, on every bounce, on every interaction, and how spin affects the trajectory of a shot, pass, or cross.
So they're doing more with spin.
So what you will see is more realistic player deflections, more realistic bounces, and if you do a shot, let's say a finesse shot, you will see maybe more curve. If you do a lace shot, you will see a dipping trajectory, a rising trajectory. There's more
If
variety,
that is actually
So
in
the
the game
entire
that way,
experience feels fresh.
then this will make the skill gap more apparent.
Bounce in fun ways. It's going to create some interesting moments, especially for a lot of our top players out there. Now, I know that a lot of fans, I'm sure, are going to be very excited to try out these new features. And since you have the eyes and
Man,
ears
E3 is completely wearing me down. I'm already tired.
anything else you want to say to this community?
Yes, so the features that I just talked about are very important, but there are many other changes that we're doing in FIFA 20, and a lot of them are based on community feedback.
Only
of them
1
is
hour
pace.
left.
We know that sometimes slower defenders can catch up with faster dribblers, so we're tweaking pace in FIFA 20. It doesn't mean that the entire game is going to be based on player speed, but it just means that player physical attributes are going to be slightly more important. We're doing something very similar for strength. And finally, for those players that have mastered the
God
skill
damn
moves,
it.
we're obviously tuning some of them. Let's say La Croqueta.
See, I knew that the FIFA part would be the most tiresome, but they are not even, like, they are talking so much. It drags so much.
We'll see, but you will see new behaviors there.
Text will still find a way. Text will still find a way. Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Now, when can players get their hands on FIFA 20?
So it's going to be September 27th.
Okay.
And there's some good news. If you have EA Access, you subscribe to EA Access, you can get hands-on on September 19th.
Wow. Okay. And then, of course, you know, EA Access coming to PS4.
Exactly. That's good news. So PS4 fans will also be able to play FIFA September 19th.
All right. Look at that there. And, of course, all those details can be found online, so don't forget about that. It is a hot day out here. We've been talking FIFA. I've been having a blast. Sam, thank you so much, man. Guys, give it up for Sam Rivera once again.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Now, don't forget, if you're in LA, come down to EA Play, try out FIFA 20 for yourself, or come watch some great street football
Next Trevor Noah.
at our custom vault to pitch. Keep an eye out because the FIFA team has a lot more to come between now and September. They'll be posting deep dives on the Pitch Notes platform. You get more info on gameplay, career mode, pro clubs, Volta, and because we all know you want to talk about it, FIFA Ultimate Team. So keep an eye out for those.
FIFA Ultimate Team is going to be the big money grabber again. How much time can I skip now? Please tell me it's a lot. 11 minutes, thank you. And then Madden.
For coming out, man.
Help a play to give donations last year.
Wait, 9 minutes? Now they're talking about...
Hey everyone, if you're watching this video, chances are you've likely seen or even personally experienced harassment when playing online games. In fact, 57% of players say they've been bullied or threatened online. We need to change that.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is where Madden starts.
And the good news is we can all do something about it. EA is donating $1 million to 3 amazing nonprofits.
CEA is also doing a lot of charity stuff, but that's mostly to offset the more negative PR that they are accumulating over the year. This to me reads like a marketing strategy. That said, charity work is always good. So, that's why I say that EA is evil, because they know exactly how to get away with the shit that they're pulling, and if they don't get away with it, they're still raking in millions.
was able to expand its message of gender inclusivity in gaming to people around the world. This the label was able
But,
to an additional 10,000 kids or
still thumbs up for charity. Okay, let's skip to Madden. So Madden gets a PC version now, which is I think EA Originals exclusive, which is not EA Originals, but EA Origin something. We're gonna hear about it.
Adam Rank. Nobody. One person applause break. I wanted a bigger pop than Trevor Noah, but that's okay. I'm still stoked to be here live from EA Play here in Los Angeles. Now back at the NFL Draft, we revealed a ton of new features coming to Madden 20. Since then, we've been asking what you, the fans, want to see. Well, guess what? We've heard those results, and they were overwhelmingly clear. You guys want rank in the game. I'm in the game. No, I'm not in the game. I'm sorry. No, we got gameplay. We are going to give you actual gameplay. That's
again with a hyper presenter.
Bringing you your first look in Madden gameplay, the ones that you've been asking for. But right now up front, we're going to do a quick recap of 5 awesome new features coming to Madden 20.
Alright, let's count down the features again.
Details. Let's open things up with Face of the Franchise, the brand new career campaign that allows you to create a... You can pop for that. Yeah, that's cool. It's a cool feature. You will be able to create a superstar quarterback, select one of 10 D1 schools, and compete in the college football playoffs.
College football, that's a big deal in America. I don't really get too much of it here, but that's because like the football that gets reported in here is mostly like the the playoffs and the Super Bowl, of course. College football, not a big deal over here.
I feel like I'm just that same guy that's been putting in the time and the work my whole entire life. Now it's about pushing myself every single day to get better. It's about passion. I'm going out there having fun. You have to make sure that you're just evolving and never being satisfied with where you're at. Coming to the league, it seems like every single year there's some different guy that's just faster and stronger.
We have press conferences in a game. Woo!
Different ways to get better, and those are the guys that find ways to win.
Hope it works better than the promo system in WWE 2K.
And as my career goes on, I just keep getting better and better at the approach from each play and recognize what you can do to have success. The first time I ever ran out the tunnel in front of that crowd, it was a surreal feeling, and I'll never forget it. My expectation was to win the Super Bowl, and I felt just short of that. You use that stuff as motivation. This is just the beginning.
Oh wow!
Pre-order to get something.
Give it up. He's amazing. He's an amazing quarterback. He's living the journey that you'll be taking on in face of the franchise. And joining me right now is Madden Community Manager Israel Cruz, aka Agent K.
Why does he have what?
As well as some of the other exciting features that are coming to the game. What do you think?
Hey, it's great to be. You know, you look a little crispy up top, and you know, me too. So I brought you one as well. You know,
Why has it? Oh my God, this is so silly.
7 3/4. Although there's a guy in a Khalil Mack jersey. Take off the Chiefs cap. Put this on.
Hey, there you go.
Don't give away those secrets.
You gotta protect the noggin, man. You gotta protect the noggin. Hey, it's good to see you too. Thank you so much.
Had an umbrella head.
We've been talking about Madden 20 on live streams, and it's been great. Our community has been really engaged, and we've been asking them.
Fashion statement. Hashtag fashion statement.
This is the culmination. We took their feedback. We're going to talk a little bit about those things. And regarding face of the franchise, our players wanted to see an NFL draft experience, kind of like what's going on. So you'll see on one of these screens right here, what's really great is you're going into the NFL draft sequence right here. You're in the green room. You know, your player's a little bit nervous, representing the Texas Longhorns, go Horns, and hasn't finished that cheeseburger right there. So
it's still Los Angeles. The Rose Bowl from a couple of years ago, still looming large though. So be cool with that. Well, listen, don't get mad at me. Just stop Vince Young. All right, so here's the thing. So this is all awesome. I love the detail.
This is all awesome. All of it. All of it.
What, you're now in franchise mode and all that stuff. And I hear the Pro Bowl is coming back too. What else should Madden fans know?
Yeah, so it's really cool. The Pro Bowl is back in Madden 20. When you're going to go ahead and install the game, you're going to be able to play the Pro Bowl, get your hands on those Superstar X Factors, play with them a little bit. But our franchise players are wanting to see more about the scenario engine, and we're going to go show a little bit about that. Now, the scenario engine, what it does, it brings dynamic quests, kind of dynamic challenges into the game that help you improve your player and their ratings week to week. So that's pretty awesome. But you said it earlier, people want to see more about gameplay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about gameplay.
Is there a blog where they can check all that stuff out too?
Yes, there is. We've written quite a few blogs. We have Gridiron Notes, which you can go ahead and search the web, you'll find those. But we also have a franchise deep dive blog.
That sounds fine, if you're into that.
Okay, for all the play callers and armchair coaches, what else can they look forward to?
You know, like real estate, it's like location, location, location. People want playbooks, playbooks, playbooks. Of course. Now, this year in Madden 20, we're having RPOs coming into the game, which are run-pass options, which is great. But not just that, but our players have been asking for new formations. So right here, we have out of the Raiders playbook, a unique formation, which is actually called double, the single back double off close. And what's great about this is a PA sweep play we've got going on right here, which is absolutely great. Our players are excited about that, but what I'm excited about is that throughout the course of the season, we're going to go ahead and evolve those playbooks, and as things happen in the NFL, we're going to bring that stuff to the NFL.
Yeah, I see the
That's
one
good.
Car fan out there was very excited to see that Raiders playbook. And I know that we've got a lot of... Oh, I'm sorry.
Best part about it is they're not waiting a year to put that stuff in the next game.
It's okay, listen.
Which they will probably still do,
Here's
but
the thing. Now, we've got a lot of Madden Ultimate Team fans in the house.
at least you get new stuff as the season progresses, which is a good
They
thing.
want to know more about the content that you're going to be bringing to the table. Tell us a little bit more about those Ultimate missions.
Yeah, so Ultimate missions are great. A lot of times our Madden Ultimate Team players, when they log into the game, they're always trying to find the most up-to-date content. So one of the things this year that we're trying to do is provide them kind of a guide, an information hub, so then when they log in, they're not spending all that time looking in different areas. They can get the player items that they want for their team to make the best squad possible. Hey, I heard that. So one of the things that's absolutely great, let's say Khalil Mack has an amazing game on Sunday. You know, you log into Madden, you log into Madden Ultimate Team, you want to be able to find it. So basically, we're going to go ahead and provide you that information guide, that step-by-step process, so you can get that item on your team.
Now, the Khalil Mack fan sitting here loves hearing that. The guys, the 2 Raider fans over here, not so much, whatever. We appreciate what you guys, I know, that talk about the Rose Bowl being too soon. Yeah, we love the Raiders. I love John Gruden, what he's done for our team. Now, the thing that I'm most excited for, though, is the Superstar X Factor abilities. These make the superstars, you know, play like superstars. And you're going to give us a little bit of a reveal on some of these abilities?
Yeah, so our players have been asking us to
Now I'm interested to see what those are.
The first one we're going to reveal is Alvin Kamara, which is great. He has in-zone abilities. He also has superstar abilities, and we're going to go ahead and take a
Let me
look
just pause this real quick. Elite receiver. When they enter the zone, his ability increases their success rate on possession and RRC catches against single coverage. Don't miss catches. Okay. Okay. So basically those are different stat boosts. Increase the success rate on possession and other catches. So that makes the star players actually like fit in line with their specialties in the real world then, I guess. Receivers with this ability make sharper cuts and frequently win contested catches when covered by linebackers and linemen. Linebacker and running back players with this ability have access to 4 additional hot routes during pre-play adjustments.
Here, what's cool about his zone ability is called
I
satellite.
do like this.
You've heard of
I do
satellite
like
back.
this.
I know what it is. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, these guys are...
It doesn't tell me as much as if I were to be like an actual football nerd, but
Kamara's a deep threat as a wide receiver, as a receiver. It's crazy. He's absolutely amazing.
it makes them more specialized in certain stuff.
So those superstar abilities are matchup nightmare. So basically, you're going to go ahead and have better opportunities to go ahead and catch the ball against linebackers and DBs, and also better route running. I mean, he's absolute beast. And he also has running back apprentice. What running back apprentice actually does for him is that it allows him to have 4 additional hot routes and pre-play adjustments.
Love that. Now, listen, everybody who knows me knows I'm kind of a dumb guy. So can you explain the difference between zone abilities and superstar abilities?
Yeah, so for zone abilities, we talked about satellite. So what's going to happen is in-game, you're going to go ahead and get some in-game objectives on how to go ahead and get your player in the zone. And, you know, Clint's going to talk a little bit here about how you're going to be able to knock them out of the zone. But the thing is that superstar abilities, what that's going to allow you to do is that they're always available, they're always on, and not just that, but it brings like a unique, authentic feel to that specific player. So with Kamara, one of the things that we were actually showing right there is that it's going to allow him to go ahead and do some amazing things out of the backfield.
It's just another level of authenticity. It's what everything.
Totally. I mean, our players have been asking us for a long time.
Totally, we're gonna have all of that. Give us money.
On the field, and we want to give that to them.
Okay, now to help us get even more down and dirty and some of those details on X Factor abilities, I want everybody right now, this is serious. Put your hands together, because joining us here on the stage here in just a moment is one of the best wide receivers on the planet from the Pittsburgh Steelers, from the University of Southern California, a hardcore Madden fan. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way in the back, give it up for Juju Smith-Schuster. Crowd loves Juju, right? Yeah. Juju! You guys, oh my goodness. You know what? Thank you so much for coming out. We always appreciate you taking the time and interacting with the community and everything.
I don't know this guy.
I'm loving it. It's awesome. It's a blessing to be here. You see the fans, the Steeler fans.
Look at that!
I was here last year and it was an amazing setup. And to come back again.
Oh yeah, he was.
No question.
Now I remember.
When I heard about Madden 20 and I heard about Pat Mahomes being on the cover and that whole X Factor thing, and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Now you had a monster year once again. You know, you're obviously one of the best players in the league. Kind of go through the thought process. When you're on the field, you're in zone, you see single coverage. What do you think?
When I see that one-on-one, it's the opportunity of me getting the ball, you know, knowing that the defense is coming and the quarterback has to put the ball a lot faster. And all I can think in my head is like, catch the ball, get yak yards, score touchdowns, celebrations, and pretty much in my head, I'm just like, wow, like, let's make a play, big plays.
Did you make big plays? What you had a 97-yard reception, or did you have 2?
Yeah, 2.
Oh, you had 2 of them. That's right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sell you short. Now, In addition to getting all those yak yards, you're also known for wrestling away those jump balls, so it's no surprise to me that your zone ability is double me. Is it cool if we take a look?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah, so what you guys are going to see right here with like Juju said, once he gets in that single coverage and he is in the zone, there is no stopping him. The only way that you're going to be able to stop him is to go ahead and double cover him. And at the end of the day, you know, it's a new meta to the game. If you want to stop Juju, you got to double cover.
Well, first of all, you can't stop him. Let's just put that out there right now.
Against single coverage. Yeah, that seems really strong, actually.
Yeah, that's definitely something I see myself doing. You know, the double coverage, especially this year, it's going to be super exciting. And I just can't wait. Not having an X factor, I can't wait.
Here's a question: will they update those according to what happens in the actual season, like they want to do the playbooks? If yeah, then that would be even better, because that would give the opportunity to make, if like a star shapes up like a specific style or comes out of nowhere during the actual season, translating that into the game before the next year's game comes out makes it more exciting to follow.
Giving out some codes. You guys may have seen it, so if you haven't checked it out, go over to the booth. There's going to be a blog up. I believe Man of the People, Zeke Barles, is going to go ahead and be talking about that, putting out. Check out our social channels. All that information is there. I brought a couple of codes here for Juju. We're going to give Juju some codes as well. We're also going to be sharing on social channels. Check that out. A lot of great information. You want some, Adam?
You mind?
Are you sure? All right, here you go. But no, it's actually awesome. But not just that, but we're going to work with Juju. He's going to be giving out codes on his channel. So again, tune into our social channels. All the information there about the closed beta happening on June 14th to June 16th. But since you're here, you guys can grab it early, download it, and get ready for June 14th.
All right, thank you so much for coming out. Israel, Juju, go play the game. Go play the game. Give it a round of applause. Juju Smith-Schuster, there he goes, handing out those codes. I don't know that you're going to get those back.
Of course, the guy in the Pittsburgh jersey got one.
Juju's going to go get a taste of what Madden 20 is all about.
Was it a jersey? I'm not sure. I'm not good with clothes.
Even more Madden 20 gameplay to show you right now. Just please welcome to the stage our senior gameplay designer, Clint Oldenburg. Put it together, everybody. Keep it going. Good to see you. How you doing? Wonderful.
How long is this?
Thank you so much for being here. Now, we've seen those X Factor abilities, but I want to dig a little bit deeper. Tell me a little bit more about how they impact gameplay.
Well, that's a great question. I'm going to follow it with a question for you first.
Okay.
I'm trusting you to give me the right answer.
You got it.
What are some reasons you like to watch football?
I like yelling at my fantasy players.
That's a good one.
Okay, yeah.
Anything else?
Oh, you know what? I like watching superstars play like superstars. When you have somebody like Juju Smith-Schuster, I want to see him make some big plays.
That's exactly right.
And sorry that you have to follow it, by the way.
That was a hard assignment,
booking,
man.
by the way.
That was a really hard assignment.
Trevor Noah, Juju, and now Clint. Hey!
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, give it up.
Yeah, so you mentioned superstars. The NFL is such a star-driven league. Madden is no different.
You mentioned the answer that we agreed upon before they started that you want to give.
So we created this ability system known as Superstar X Factors. These abilities are going to bring authentic skills that make these guys feel unique
Donald,
and powerful,
signature animations.
so that every
Signature animations will be fun.
and game plan differently.
And that's what it's all about, authenticity. And that's great that you guys take that extra level of realism. Can we see some more X Factors in action? Can we, you know, we talked about Mahomes at the start of the show. I'd love to see him go out there and do his thing if that's possible.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff to show you here with Patrick Mahomes, our cover athlete. Bazooka is his zone ability. Now, to get into the zone, you have to do an in-game objective. With Mahomes, you have to complete 4 passes of 30 yards or more, and once you get inside the zone, denoted there by his X Factor icon, he can throw the ball further than anyone else in the game. His max pass distance is increased about 15 yards to about 80. You
What?
can bomb the thing.
Everybody's oohing and eyeing.
That's
what we see on Sunday.
insane.
Now, we talked about the air yards. It's got to be air yards, right? Not dump off
Correct.
Damian Williams.
Exactly. 4 passes of 30 yards or more, that's traveling in the air 30 yards, so the rack yards don't count.
I do like the fact that you have to do specific stuff in the match to unlock it, and if you take something else in the meantime, then it cancels. That rewards skill play. It's basically a win more thing.
This is not a gimmick ability. These things are inspired by their real life skills that make them special.
So that's his zone ability. Does he have any others?
Yes, he also has superstar abilities. As an X Factor, one of our better X Factors, he has a zone ability and then superstar abilities. We're going to break down his loadout here, right here. We got Escape Artist first. And as everyone knows, he's a dual threat quarterback. Escape Artist gives him elite agility and speed when scrambling on passes.
Oh my god.
Looks like Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm not someone who has played any Madden game before, but I've seen a lot of football. I watch the Super Bowl every year, so this still translates. It's insane to me.
Passing accuracy is the best accuracy you can have in our game.
And then here's the red zone.
Yeah, red zone Deadeye. If you watched him last year, you know he was deadly in the red zone. When he's inside the 20-yard line, again, perfect passing accuracy. Lastly, no look Deadeye. I'm really excited about this one. He's going to have perfect accuracy. The only quarterback in the game at launch to have perfect accuracy on crossbody throws. Exclusive to him is the no-look signature Mahomes animation.
That's his signature look. That's exactly what he does every Sunday, and everybody gets upset about it. And this is the thing, though. I know Mahomes, I get it. He plays like a star. But come on, this is kind of a lot. Is he unbeatable? Is there? If I'm on the other side of the ball, like, what can I do to stop him?
And you must play Madden, because that's a question our players are going to want to know.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's a chess match. So just like in the NFL, the way to shut down a high-powered passing game is pass rush. The defense is going to have knockout conditions when these guys are in the zone. You're going to see here Mahomes with his X-Factor icon lit up. He's in the zone. Von Miller's going to sack him. The objective for the Broncos in this game, sack Mahomes, knock him out of the zone. So each team's going to have ways to counter each other.
Okay. So it's fair, basically.
It's a chess match. It's all that stuff.
Exactly. And if you pull that objective off, you knock him out of the zone, then he has to go through his objectives again to get back into the zone.
All right, well, that's a little bit reassuring. I'm glad that there's some checks and balances that go along with all that stuff. But we all know, I know you're an offensive guy, but defense wins championships. We've seen what the offense can do. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
You know who I want to see? One of the most incredible athletes.
The guy that we
in
have
the NFL,
prepared.
regardless of position, Aaron Donald. What's he all about?
Yeah, I mean, Aaron
You can
Donald
pop for Aaron Donald.
Scary. Yeah, give it up for Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is scary. So I played offensive line when I played, and I knew I couldn't block him. That's why I fit in this chair. So he's reflected pretty well. He's got his own ability called Fearmonger. Okay. What makes him special is when he gets in the zone, he can actually apply pressure penalties to the quarterback, even when he's engaged in a block. Typically, those penalties only occur when you're free rush, unblocked to the quarterback. He does it while he's blocked. We're going to take a look at some of these. He also has superstar abilities.
Oh, he does.
He's in the video. There was the pressure penalty applied to the quarterback.
Right.
In addition to that, he has pass rush elite. That's a superstar ability that gives him quicker, faster pass rush shed moves as a pass rusher. And then
Our defense is of course less fancy, but nonetheless very useful.
More punitive. So he's quite a disruptive pass rusher.
Because that's one of the things, too. It's not necessarily, especially with somebody who's playing defensive tackle, it's not somebody who's always going out there and getting sacks. It's guys who are going out there and also getting pressure up the middle, pushing offensive linemen into the face of the quarterback.
Yeah, it lends itself to more strategy in the game. You got to know who you're playing against. You got to know who you're playing with. Like I said, it's a chess match out there. And then one important note here with all the passing abilities. You said Mahomes seemed really powerful. Putting pressure on the quarterback is going to be the direct counter to a lot of those abilities.
And that takes them off their game, and that takes them off the X Factor and everything like that.
Absolutely.
So it's good to have those guys. One of the cool things, too, that I've noticed when you're watching all the play and all that stuff going on is that you've worked really hard.
They're literally just going down the list.
To life and put their personalities out there. And that includes some custom animations. So what are some of the examples of these custom animations we're checking out?
These are super cool. We didn't want our superstars to just feel great. We want them to look great, too. The first place is quarterback, cover athlete Patrick Mahomes. We went out and captured these guys' signature passing animations. We have coverage for about 6 to 7 of the most popular quarterbacks in the game. We're going to continue to add to these throughout the year. Aaron Rodgers, quick release. Drew Brees, you know he's always fidgeting if you're a Saints fan. And it extends beyond quarterbacks. Everyone knows Zeke Elliott's feed me, getting the team in the zone. These animations,
Those animations are really well done. I'm gonna give it to them. They have character.
Superstars on the field.
Well, you saw it. Like right when we saw the thing with Ezekiel Elliott, somebody who's a Cowboys fan or just likes watching him play, that they can identify with. They start cheering and they like seeing that kind of stuff. I don't like seeing Aaron Rodgers leave his feet and throw the ball 90 yards down the field. But whatever. We don't have to get into that, Khalil Mack.
That's all right.
But you know what? We've talked a lot about the new features. What about player mechanics? Because as a player, what are like some of the tools in my toolbox, so to speak?
Nailed it with the toolbox.
Right,
Love
it is. It's kind of what it is.
Yeah, we're always looking at ways to add new mechanics to the game, give our players more control. There's two that we want to go over today, and they're both for the quarterback. The first is the new scramble mechanic or pull down mechanic. What this does is give you the ability on a passing play to pull down the passing icons with a button press, become a ball carrier, full access to all the spin moves, jukes, ball carrier moves, and then you can bring back your icons again with the same button press and throw it at any time. Makes any quarterback a dual threat, brings some skill. Here with Ben
Oh wow.
we're looking at the new pump
Okay.
mechanic. You can now pump
Now,
to a specific receiver on the field.
there
By
are
double tapping
specific
the button,
quarterbacks that aren't as great
to get guys to bite on it.
on like either passing or running, respectively. Like, if here's an interesting fact: can you have like players of old that have retired since and have them have those special abilities? That would be cool. I would like Beast Mode and Ray Williams, I think his name was.
You know this. You played in the NFL not too long ago, but the game has changed so much in the number
Was
of
it
years
Williams?
since you've been gone.
I'm
We've seen a
not
lot
even
of
sure anymore.
college coaches come in,
No,
they
it
brought
wasn't
in
Williams at all. I'm looking like a fool right now. It was Ray Lewis.
down there in Arizona, bringing in his
I don't know why I had Williams in my head right now.
you know, not a prototypical quarterback.
Anyway, Ray Lewis,
But they're going to do a lot of that run
having
pass
him with
option.
like star player abilities would be really cool.
Yes, super excited to announce that we are delivering RPOs, as they're known. I mean, you know, you can't watch an NFL broadcast without hearing that acronym, RPO.
All they talk about.
13, 14 times, right? So this is a concept taking the entire football world by storm. We actually have 3 different types of RPOs in our game. We have alerts, peaks, and reads. I'm going to break those down really quick for our players. The first is an alert. That's a very basic pre-snap read. You're calling a running play, and you're going to look at what the defense is aligned in. If you think you can run the play, you just call the play, you hit nothing, you'll hand it off, and away you go. However, what's cool about those plays is you can branch out of that handoff at any time just by hitting the receiver icon and throw it if he's open. So that's a really cool way to be creative on offense. And then there's 2 other types. The peak.
You know, I like this too, mainly because you can,
after the snap. If he bites on run, you can
the fact that you can just go the opposite direction really quickly makes it great for what's the word I'm looking for? Faking out your opponent, basically. I do like that. And the tactical aspect is what I like about football as well.
We actually have over 200 RPO plays in our playbooks.
220. That's a lot. That is very impressive.
It's more than 201.
Flexibility. Are there any other formations or plays come to the game?
Oh yeah, you're gonna see if there's any Eagles fans in here. You're gonna see something cool here in a minute. We got new animation technology as part of our RPO story. So we were able to put in a lot of these cool concepts you're seeing in the NFL right now. Philly Special is in the game.
Look away,
We're gonna see
Patriot
that
fans.
on the gameplay right here. There it is right there. We also have a lot of jet sweep touch pass concepts. You're seeing the Chiefs and the Rams, teams like that using end arounds. You're going to see a lot of fresh, unique content in the playbooks. And the cool thing is, we're going to be updating the playbooks all season long to make
Yeah, they mentioned that. I do like that.
This is all amazing. Thank you so much, Clint. I cannot wait.
So I'm sure they're not gonna update the player abilities or anything throughout the year. So only the playbooks.
I'm Adam Rank. If you want even more Madden 20 news, you can tune in to the Madden channel right after.
I'm kind of glad that the Madden part is over, to be honest. It was a bit more engaging to me than the FIFA stuff, but even then. Whew, so much talking. At least they showed gameplay though.
To help make sure that those ratings are accurate, and our friends over at ESPN have helped to put together a little video to get us the scoop on the best job in the world, the Madden Ratings Adjuster. Let's roll it.
This is good.
We're almost done with this, and I'm kind of glad, because honestly, I didn't expect too much, because EA didn't want to put on a presentation. Instead they did this, which is kind of a presentation, and I can grade this. So this is by far the worst one this year. I would give it like a D+, honestly. It's not quite done yet, but so much talking, so much. So many video packages that have nothing to do with actual like showing you the game. Instead we have like people talking.
If they think that we have it wrong, they're going to let us know that.
We hope I can get to the 90s range next year. My catch rating got to go up a little bit. I can't be dropping picks on Madden. I need my speed up. Turn the notch up a little bit for you, boy.
Mine sucks. Who does my Madden ratings?
Hey, Clint, raise your hand,
Clint Oldenburg. I'm a Madden ratings performance adjuster.
Okay, that's that. How much time do I get to skip for the last thing they have?
Between those new X Factor abilities, face of the franchise, and the RPO, and all that gameplay, Madden fans have a lot to be excited about. And now, I can't wait for our final show of the day. It's more epic than...
The Sims. Cool. Let's get Billy Joe hyped now for this last bit of thing that they have. The Sims. I'm not looking forward to too much of it, mainly because it's still not as good as Sims 3 was. But, you know, it's getting there. Slowly but surely, like every Sims does. And it's way too expensive again. And it's Julia Hardy again.
Welcome, Simmers, to EA Play! Yes, I'm very excited to talk about everyone's favourite game series, The Sims! Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm Julia Hardy, and today we're giving you a guided tour of what's new with The Sims 4. Plus, a couple of fun surprises, so stay tuned. Now, to help me translate all of this Simlish, everybody join me in welcoming General Manager Lindsay Pearson and Senior Producer Michael Duke.
Susul.
Thanks so much for coming out, guys. So, I'm super excited. I know you guys are super excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been with The Sims a long time, and this is one of my favorite things to do, is come out and see all of you and tell you exciting things.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's going to be a big year for us. It's actually, we're celebrating 20 years of making The Sims this year.
Yeah.
And Lindsay and I keep debating it, but I think this is going to be the best year yet.
I think it might be.
Well, I mean, really what we want to know is, what have you got for us? Come on, tell us everything.
Of course. Well, it is EA Play. We couldn't come empty-handed, so we'll start with our big one first. I'll let you take that.
Absolutely. So we have the next expansion pack for The Sims 4, Sims 4 Island Living.
So it's basically vacations again.
Let's check out that trailer. Yeah.
That's my biggest critique point of The Sims. Like every new Sims franchise, they take out everything again and then slowly adding it back in, but you have to pay for it every single time. I'm annoyed at that. Clean up the crap that humanity left at the shores. And then, become a mermaid. Sure. So this is vacation, but specifically on an island. More Pacific.
So cool. And look, we're in our own little island paradise. Can I just say, I didn't know what the reveals were going to be, and I
This is beautiful.
This.
Here's an interesting question. Can you just build the entire, like, is the island the main place? Because that would be a good differentiator between vacations and this one. Is that just a world that you can play in?
Not exactly that, but certainly those bright colors, like you're
Or
showing.
is it like a vacation destination and completely
A lot of
worthless?
island wear, and that stuff you can stay cool in when it's so hot.
It's true.
Yeah. And we had to
It's
bring a
looking
lot of
alright.
colors.
It's very specific. You won't address too many people with that. Maybe the tops. The tops will be used a bit
and
more.
relax on this beautiful island.
The hairstyles look alright. Here's the thing though, I bet we get a lot of good swimwear out of that.
I'm not someone who likes to dwell on a beach too much. Yeah, if I want to go in the water, what's going to be happening there?
So we're very excited. So for the first time in The Sims 4, our Sims are going to be able to walk right into the open water, and we're opening up open water gameplay.
You've been teasing the water at this point. It's there.
I mean, like you saw in the trailer, she
Jet
walks right in.
skis.
Our Sims are going to be able to do that, and you can snorkel in the water. There's swimming, floating, and there's also those pretty awesome aqua zips.
Yeah.
You're in a hurry to get where you're going.
So what inspired you guys to introduce this kind of ocean gameplay this time?
Yeah, well, we've taken this
You
into a
know,
lot of
me,
different
I
worlds,
had
a lot of
I had
different
myself a nice little vacation
played with
in the
the idea of
Caribbean, and I
living
was
in the
like,
water
man, we need a new Sims expansion. Let's do this.
environment, which seems like a great addition. I mean, you know, when I think of tropical islands, I'm thinking of, you know, like palm trees, ocean waves, relaxing on the beach. So, like, tell me more about this world. What can I actually do in it? Yeah, so the island of Sulani will have all of those things and more. It really
Mhm.
is the perfect place to unplug and enjoy this natural feel. So you can explore all these little alcoves. You can live closer to the coast, or you can live higher up towards the hills.
Can you live in the volcano?
Wait, there's an active volcano here.
Absolutely,
Sorry,
yeah.
you were selling me the dream of living on an island.
Well,
now I'm not sure I really want to go there.
So-
It is a real island.
Most islands are formed by volcanoes.
Yeah.
Well,
so
don't
you
get
know.
nitpicky.
Yeah, so we had to put this active volcano in there. Now, you don't have to live next to it, but
Right.
the riskier Sims may choose to live nearby. Oh,
Yeah, and then
sometimes
Kel's
it gets
surprise.
angry.
Something
You gotta watch out
terrible
for those
happens.
lava bombs.
Don't do it.
Like,
Don't.
oh, The Sims.
I mean-
I don't know how that was going
I
to
mean,
go.
what do you
but probably
expect's
not
going to
well.
happen when you touch something
Yeah.
really, really hot?
So,
Probably
yeah.
burns.
Beautiful locale, slightly dangerous.
I mean, Sims can be
What other
stupid,
surprises
so
are in store on this island?
you know.
I mean, I, for one, want to know if I can befriend any kind of cute animals there. What kind of animals will we befriend?
Well, I mean, it would be the Sims if we didn't let you make friends with some of the animals.
Exactly.
So in this case, the one we're really excited about is the dolphin.
I got some achievements.
So our art team and animators just blew away the
Thank you,
expectations.
Twitch.
Any
The dolphin's
research
so much fun.
trips like the Battlefield team, just going off to somewhere hot like
No,
Gonna
we're
check
gonna
those
talk
out
about
later.
how they got to do that.
Yeah, clearly we missed the angle on that one,
But they're so cute, and you get to make like a really nice friend with them, and maybe they'll do tricks for you or squirt water in your face. You know?
absolutely. Well, and then we added a bunch of tropical fish to the water too. So we really wanted to get those coral reefs around the island to feel lush and full, and so that meant more fish.
Lovely. I mean, I don't know. We don't have fish like that in the UK. I mean, we might do, but the water's so murky, I've never seen them. So
I'm sure they're
Quite
down
lovely.
there.
I mean,
They're
they must
probably
be. What do you put with the chips?
Great. I'm sure they're
What beautiful
So at
rainbow
least they
fish.
taste delicious. You have that going for it.
I mean, I think the island looks so relaxing. Obviously, it's not really about vacation. It's also, you know, it's about kind of work
So it is
as
a
well, but,
vacation
like,
thing.
What's kind of like the feel and the vibe of the island going to be like?
You know, I think it's one of those things we talk a lot about in the team is capturing what it would be like to really live on that island. It's not just a place you vacation, but we wanted this to be a place that's home for your Sims.
Or,
Yeah,
you know,
so-
tricks to be played on you.
Well, that happens too.
Well, and so there's lots to do on the beach. You saw sun tanning, sun burning,
Like
building
today.
castles. The whole family can go out and play together, find seashells, or the mischievous Sims, you know, knock things down.
Well, and aquazips. I want to say it again.
Everybody
No, but they're so good.
The what are they called again?
Aquazips.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at, so you've got to take time to really explore it all.
Yeah, man, it's cozy. It's fun. It's gonna be nice.
Great place for Sims to kind of kick back and you know what? But
I
what
would
if my
love
Sims
to know the
go,
price
"Right,
on
I
this,
can't
and I know
personally
that they're
love
not gonna
beach,
mention it.
What if they
But the
wanna get their
release date
hands
will be
dirty?
interesting.
Well, I'm very excited about a new thing that we're introducing. If your Sims want a new career to take care of this island, you can actually become a conservationist. And your
Mhm.
job is going to be to keep this ecosystem looking beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly one of the big goals was a way for your Sims to kind of care for their world.
Yeah.
And make it a better place.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, very relevant with everything that's going on today in the world and how everyone's kind of a lot more kind of aware. So was that kind of what
yeah.
inspired you guys to bring that in?
You know, I think there's a few things that really hit us. I mean, the first was just, it's something we all care about. A lot of us on the dev team worry about the environment and what's going on, but we talked about the idea that this island's this closed ecosystem, and so your actions and choices are going to have a lot more impact. And so something new we've added here and we're really excited about is the island actually changes over time. So if you're taking care of it,
Oh, right, okay.
it'll actually become more lush. You'll see more greenery, brighter, beautiful flowers, and there's Lindsay's favorite part.
More butterflies.
So she really cares about us.
But it also,
That's a good little incentive. I like that.
Oceans Day,
That's a good
which is
idea.
amazing. That's
That's right.
exactly what we were talking about. Like,
totally
how do we
planned
take
for that.
care of these ecosystems?
So obviously, Solani's really, really beautiful. You know, you can kind of go out there, but like, sometimes you want to make a little bit of cash. I mean, you know, like barbecue meat, I presume, is expensive. I don't know, but so how can we make some extra simoleons while we're there?
Like we said, we wanted to make this place you live, which
Yeah.
means you've got to have a way to earn some simoleons.
Yeah, and
So-
the gap year has to end sometime.
Eventually.
You have to go home and earn some money as well.
So we added a couple like odd jobs and things that you could kind of work on the hours you wanted to, right? And so we've added the ability to make fishing more of a career, and then also the lifeguard so you can get your tan while you're working.
If you want to spend more time in the water, you can be a dive instructor. There's a lot of different ways to just pick up a job when you want and earn a little bit of money.
If I wish I could just pick up a job.
As you are actually kind of living on this island, obviously, you know, you have to kind of be aware and know what's kind of part of local culture, because you're not just there on holiday. You go in and go out. You're living there. So what kind of, you know, the side of the culture of the island can we actually see within? Right. Yeah. This is a place that you live, and the locals are super friendly actually, and are going to come and help you out with all sorts of different things as you explore the island. Yeah. You were talking about this the other day. Like actually, like all the neighbors are really, really helpful and help. Yeah. And help you.
You know, like if a fire happens to break out, your neighbor might bust in and help you put out that fire.
That's lovely. That's what they're so nice. Should do. So, but they also have their own traditions, their own sort of activities that you might be able to join in. So you might stumble across a barbecue that they've started in town, or a little festival to sort of celebrate things going on. And you might even stumble into a kava party. Sorry, what, a kava party? What's a kava party? So a kava is a special island drink that your sim can learn how to make and share with their friends on the island. It's one of the many delicacies you'll learn kind of exploring life in Suwannee.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things we talked about was we wanted to have this island have a little history to it, just some sense of feeling of some people have lived here a long time.
That's a good idea. That's a no, it's nice. It's nice. I'm not against this. This is probably the best part of this whole conference. Maybe it just feels that way because it came after all that drab sports stuff, but you know. Which actually reminds me that there was no NBA here at all.
Who care a lot about Suwannee, and you know they want to see their world taken care of, and when you do good things, they might be really happy and pleased. And if you're bad to the island, I don't think they
may not approve.
Yeah, you know,
it's so like just sticking the tail.
Yeah, well, and we added some new traits with this pack that we wanted to really let if you're
new traits. Let's hear it.
In touch with the land, or that's important to you, you know, they can really get in touch with the water or the land and unlock some new behaviors.
Yeah. Okay. So from like what we've kind of seen in all the videos, it feels really inspired by like Polynesian culture. So how do you kind of go about kind of educating yourself to like bring that into the game? Well, every time we make a world, we want to learn a lot about the influences that could go into that place, because it's not a particular real place, but it's inspired by real places. So short of flying there and researching it ourselves, we reached out. Work that into it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, EA is a big global company, so we were able to reach out to a lot of our friends and coworkers across the company and say, hey, we're looking at exploring a place inspired by this culture. Yeah.
Probably inspired by Moana, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Those tattoos look very similar.
So we can try and
I'm getting Moana vibes from this.
Cool questions, just like, what was iconic to you, or what do you remember when you think back to living in that place?
Right, and some of our specific like decor items came exactly from those recommendations, which is really cool. It's these nice touches that I hope make it feel familiar while still feeling like a new Sims world. Yeah. So not to make light of all that, because I think that's fantastic, but I really feel like I've been quite patient up until this point, and you haven't really mentioned it yet. Mermaids! What on earth's going on? Come on, let's cut to the chase. Mermaids! Mermaids tell us everything. There are mermaids.
Yes, so mermaids are in the pack.
Yay, mermaids!
And I know lots of players are going to be wondering, it is a very fully featured call. You can make them into casts, you can create, style your mermaid, lots of different tails. It's a lot of fun, but also, you know, the mermaids, they can do a little bit more. Obviously, they're very in touch with the ocean life. So, you know, I'd recommend your mermaid meet a dolphin. That might work out for you. But lastly, the mermaids have some pretty cool powers that you might want to discover.
Powers? Can we call
that?
that?
We could say mer powers.
Sounds good. Yeah. Can you tell us what there's still a bit of mystery to the mermaids. Like, they are definitely worth exploring, so I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on them. So, of course, I would just love to keep talking about mermaids, but no conversation about The Sims would be complete without a chat about, obviously, interior design, so kind of what's new for the architects.
There were also mermen, by the way. Mermen?
I'm pretty sure we saw some houses on stilts as well over the water, right?
Yeah, so I think, you know, first and foremost, lounge chairs. We're going to go to island, we're going to live the beach life.
I don't want to sit upright if I'm relaxing, I'm sorry. No awkward sitting on the stage.
We had to bring the lounge chairs in, but then also a lot of that decor to really capture that Polynesian feel, right? And so we wanted to make sure there was that clutter that felt authentic and let it feel like this was home.
Yeah, and you can go
this
for
looks
this more
pretty
sort of
nice.
local style cabana on the beach, or you can go for something a little more high-end and modern. We really wanted you to feel like you could create the getaway of your dreams.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm so 100% sold on the houses over the water. I'm much more of a kind of modern sort of house. Yeah, for sure. And you might have noticed too, she was able to jump right off of that deck out into the water, which is great.
Best.
Like your perfect little escape. all good. I'm feeling the diving into the water vibe.
I know,
right now.
it's toasty.
I can't wait to check out obviously the new Island Living expansion pack. And now that I've got a feeling out that some of you, that you've got some more exciting additional.
Here's the thing with this whole thing, they are talking so much that I struggle with having anything to say, because they show so little. I mean, Sims can get away with only showing like the overworld, because it's the fuck, what's now content creator.
Love The Sims, and I'm so excited to announce this upcoming partnership with one of my favorite games. So this summer, The Sims is actually partnering with the amazing It Gets Better project. As part of this partnership with It Gets Better, Sims is going to be releasing Pride items in all Sims products in the next few months.
That's good.
There's going to be a variety of It Gets Better and Pride clothing in Sims Free Play, the Sims mobile app, and Sims 4. There's even a gender-neutral bathroom in Sims 4, along with a bunch of other items to show off your pride. Thanks so much for letting me share.
Happy Pride Month, by the way.
Now go out and enjoy your EA Play.
You know what? Yeah, I can get behind this.
So cool to see. That's really, really cool to see. And thanks so much to Joey for showing for that. I mean, what a great partnership as well to be announcing, of course, because it's Pride Month, it's Pride Week here in Los Angeles. How are you guys going about kind of supporting that great cause?
Well, The Sims has always been a game about being inclusive and the self-expression of creating yourself and people you know and telling your own story. So this is a wonderful opportunity to bring new content in the game to celebrate that.
Definitely. And I think also
EA really made sure to include that. They did a lot this year to make it seem like EA has a heart.
About your sexuality and being able to kind of sort of role play within games is a really, really safe place to do that. So, you guys have been doing it pretty much from the start, way before everyone else. So it's really great. I mean, isn't that great to see? So great. Yeah.
Well, it's something we're very proud of, and having been with the game a long time, it's something that keeps making me excited about being able to do more.
Yeah, I love when we get to do stuff like that. It just
almost done.
We feel so much more powerful and meaningful, and I always be getting to tell people that I work on this game.
Yeah.
And that we do such amazing stuff, and also when we get to hear from our community about the experiences they've had, or how the game helped them get through a tough time in their life, or realize something about themselves. It's just, that stuff really keeps us going as developers.
Yeah, how powerful gaming is and how much it can really kind of affect and change you as a person and show you stuff. It's amazing. So when can we get our hands on it?
So Joey mentioned briefly, but starting June 18th, the Pride content will come to The Sims 4, and then it will start rolling out over The Sims Mobile and The Sims Free Play a little bit later. So keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's great, but I mean, I think you've actually got this is such a ridiculous, and it's back to that, right? What else? You've got something else that you want to announce in the summer. What's going on?
We actually had, I think, two more things we wanted to talk about.
Two more things.
I'm gonna let Lindsay talk about this.
All right. Okay. So first of all, earlier this year, we announced our partnership with Moschino by releasing a real-world capsule collection of looks inspired by The Sims. I see some of them, and I'm very excited. And we had a hoodie that was actually put into all of our Sims games. So later this summer, we're going to be bringing that fashion and more to The Sims 4.
Okay, that doesn't catch me as much, because I'm not, clearly I don't care about fashion. I'm wearing a shirt that says my level of sarcasm depends on your level of stupidity. Clearly I don't care about fashion.
For the first time, we're actually going to add a career as part of a stuff pack.
Okay.
And so we've decided the perfect career for this pack is part-time job as a freelance fashion photographer, so you can capture all those amazing looks.
Bit of a low-key note to